Welcome back, everyone, to the Lake Lewis Jr. Show. Appreciate you joining us. As always, we've got some of the best, supporters of the Burgundy and Gold. And if you're just joining us for the first time, I'm thinking you're going to love this show because it gives people a chance to sound off, to vent, but to also praise the team when they do well. So we try to keep a fair balance here on the program. If you want to join us for future shows, all you have to do is email me at thelakeLewisJr.show@gmail.com. Once again, it's thelakeLewisJr.show@gmail.com. And special shout out to our presenting sponsor, the folks over at Crossover Meats. They actually were at one of the recent tailgates. I think they'll be there tomorrow night again for the Broncos game. So make sure you get a chance to go check them out. I'll give you all the information towards the end of the show on how you can do that, because I'm going to make a point to get out there myself again. So how's everybody doing today?
Good.
Good.
All right, you guys are ready for a big one. No Jaden, that's what it looks like. Although this week at practice, he looked pretty good to me. But I guess they're going to keep him out for one more game. But the good thing is that it looks like Terry and Noah Brown and some of the weapons that we thought were going to be there to start the season will be back for Marcus Mariota. So my question to you is, and we'll fire it up and go around the horn here, but my question to you is, do you feel like this is a game that not so much for playoff implications for Washington, because I think we all agree that they're probably not making the playoffs, but as far as the Broncos, is this game more important for Washington to win just to pick up, good morale, good energy again? Or is this game more important for the Denver Broncos? So let's fire it away. We'll start with Miss Sheila down there. What's going on, Miss Sheila? How you doing?
Hi. I don't think I'm gonna ever say it's better for another team.
I mean, that's understandable, but Denver right now would be the number one seed in the playoffs if this playoff started.
But that's on their side. Anyway. That's on the AFC. So I don't think I'm gonna ever say that. Now I just think it would be good that we win for the morale, to get, that feeling back, the energy back, and maybe get all that back before Jaden comes. So when Jaden comes, he has a good crowd just ready to go for it, because they're ready to go for it now. So you can tell that they still said they're not giving up. I've seen a whole lot of stuff all over the place, and everybody's like, we don't care. We still sticking with our team. So I'm sticking with my team. I want them to go ahead and win. And I was looking at Marcus only won one game.
Yeah,
out of
just
this.
one. Just one.
So if he had won some of them games, we'd be probably be able to try to make it to the playoffs. But because he hadn't won any, and so, Jaden would have to go with the next 4 or 5 straight without no losses. So anyway, I'm going with my team for them to lift each other up.
Okay. And it's kind of ironic, since you started, that the 3 gentlemen that just joined us are the lynch mob just joined us, so to speak. Gerard, Brad, and Mike, my guys, the lynch mob just joined in the nick of time. So the question was, with this game tomorrow night, is it more important for Washington to get a win just for morale boosting and to get the energy back? Or is this game more important for the Broncos? Because right now they're the number one seed in the AFC. And I know Sheila said she'll never say it's more important for another team. I kind of think the Broncos have to win this game. They have to, because if you lose to a porous Washington team, let's call it like it is, a 3-8 Washington team, are you legit? That's pretty much the way people are going to look at the Broncos. So we're firing around right now. So let's go with Brandon. What you think, Brandon?
I mean, look, I want to see him win. I'd love to see him win. I'd love to see them, throw a little, little salt in the wounds over there at Sean Payton's little masterpiece he's got over there. He's got a little chip on his shoulder, and I think we're just due, man. We just need to win. I want to see us win again. Right. I'm just sick and tired of seeing us lose, and I'm glad that Terry's coming back. Whether Noah Brown's going to play or not, that's fine. But I think just having Terry out there is a great thing. And do we know if DQ's still running the defense?
Yeah, he absolutely is.
Good.
Yep.
All right, that's good. And then are we getting Will Harris back? Is he coming back or?
No, I didn't. Well, the word is that he may be out because he wasn't on the list, but I
Okay.
can tell you right now, in Spain, that guy in practice looked awesome. So he's
Good.
gonna play. He's gonna play.
Okay.
There's no
Okay.
doubt he's gonna play. But I think it's been some gamesmanship on that one too, by the way. Like who's playing, who's not playing. I think the goal all along was to get everyone healthy and come
Yeah.
back after the bye. So yeah, they're playing, which is the reason why I'm a little surprised Jaden isn't playing, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're putting the kid gloves on, so I know they want to keep him healthy. But yeah, that's my feeling. I want us to win.
Okay. All right, good stuff. All right, Ellison.
Uh, I think it's important for both teams.
Hmm.
Probably more important for Denver to keep pace with the Colts and the Patriots, in particular in the AFC, top of the AFC. I think it's important for us as well, not to that degree, but camaraderie, just to get a win, like Brandon said, just get that feeling back of something positive going on. So I think it is important to a certain degree, but not as important as Denver. So you
Okay.
do want to have some good things coming out of this, but we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Okay. All right. And I just noticed I got my baby's name up on my thing. So
I
yeah,
wanted to say something, but we
yeah,
started the recording.
yeah. We can
Yeah.
do that while you guys are doing it. I'll go ahead and change it. But
Okay.
Copy that.
Oscar,
Yeah.
yep. So Oscar, you're up. What you think?
Yeah, we're all excited. Like, I mean, I agree with everyone. We need a morale boost for sure. It's exciting that Terry is back, and even though I'm so impatient to see JD5 playing, we all know that there's a thin line between cleared by the doctors and like fully recovered. So I'm okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, Denver, they absolutely got the best defense this year, so it's gonna be a tough one for us. But I miss winning. I agree with Brandon and everyone.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. All right. Shauno,
Hey, happy Family Day, everybody.
happy day. What's
So
up?
I'm thinking long term. So I think we should lose to win. So by losing, we'll get a better draft pick down the road. Keeping it real. We can't make playoffs. I like to see all the players play, get better. Uh, but let's be real about it. Let's get a better draft pick.
I was wondering when somebody was going to break the ice with that. I mean, I mean, you play to win. Obviously, it sounded like Herm Edwards. You play to win the game. Hello, but I mean, you remember what happened 2 years ago, basically, because of the way they finished, they ended up with Jaden Daniels at number two. I don't know if there's a generational player at a position that they need this year. So I'm not sure, how I feel about, not so much tanking, but if you keep losing games, how good that draft pick will be. Because personally, I'm trading out of that spot regardless. I think you trade back and try to get a second rounder out of it with a late first rounder. So that's a whole nother story. But yeah, Sean, I'm glad you said it because I think people have been thinking that deep down. They just,
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah,
they don't want to
yeah,
say that. So,
yeah. Yeah, some of us have been in April already for a while
Yeah,
now.
I'm already there.
all right. So let's go, Gerard. What's up, my friend? What's going on?
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
And I appreciate the Thanksgiving Day message from you. I greatly appreciate that. That meant a lot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
But where I'm at, I'm already into next year. I'm into August, September of next
Hmm.
year, in my
Okay.
opinion. But for the most part, Terry is nice to see back, but I would have rather him and JD5 came back together. To me, if JD5 not playing this week, Terry shouldn't play this week. They should come back together. It's all about them getting reps, them being together. Let them come back together. That's just where I'm at with it. I mean, of course, we fans, we want to see a win or we want to see our team play well. But
Right.
at this point, wins and losses don't really mean too much. We're not going to the playoffs, so it's all about the playoffs at this point, the new season. So where I'm at, let's try to look good. I'm all about next year. Draft, rebuild my team. Let me see the young guys. Like I said in our group chat, do not need to see Zach Ertz on the field one play for the rest of the season. No disrespect to him. He can coach unless
Right.
somebody get hurt. We have three other tight ends that we need to see play to see if they're going to be on this team going forward. So for the tight end position, that's just where I'm at with it.
Okay. All
And that's
right.
all
Good
I'm going to say.
stuff. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, Brad. Long time no see, brother. What's up?
What's up, family? It's been a while, y'all. Mike
Good to
B,
see you.
Ellison, Miss Sheila, Sean, everybody. What's happening? Brandon, what's up, my guy? Um, well, you know where I'm at. I've been
Yeah, the man cave.
Like I said,
my,
the lynch mob. I couldn't wait
that's
to get
right.
the last three on here.
Uh,
Yes.
Mike B
Yes.
shouted me out a couple shows ago. Shut him down, right? Um,
Say
I think
bubble
it's
wrap
more.
'em.
I think it's more important for Chicago. And I understand people's talk about morale, team morale, but half these guys not even gonna be on the roster next year anyway.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's way more important than for Denver. And don't get me started on my rant. I've been, like I said, y'all know where I've been since the Chicago game. So it's way
Exactly.
more important for Denver.
Okay. Okay. And speaking of Chicago, I know Mike, you got to come up next. Isn't it like watching the Bears this year? Or it's almost like watching Washington from last year. It's
It
like the
is.
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
scenarios, how
Mhm.
they're winning games, that they really have no business winning. But now it looks like they're legit, meaning that that defense is good enough to cause some problems for people. So it's just funny to see Washington loses to Chicago this year, 7 game losing streak or 6 game losing streak. And now Chicago, what was that, eighth straight for them?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like polar opposites, and it looks like last year. So we'll see how that goes. I will say
But you
this
know what,
though,
Lake? The
Washington had
difference
the better
is,
quarterback.
sorry, Mike B. The difference is Chicago, what they have, their roster look more sustainable for the next couple of years
It does.
than what ours did last year.
And you know what we also
Yeah.
seeing too? Superior offensive play calling. I mean,
Yeah.
let's call it like it is.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah. I mean, I
That's
mean,
that's
they
real.
got two
That's real.
backs that got over 200, that got over 100 yards yesterday against the Eagles.
Yeah.
I don't know if Cliff would allow for a back to get two backs to get over 100 yards in the game because he'd get bored running the football.
Mm.
Um, that's the kind of stuff that you see that is sustainable as well as the coaching is sustainable. So, and you guys do know, real quick that Tavita,
Yes.
is
I
gone.
saw that.
So
Yeah.
That hurt
Yeah.
me.
because
That
I
hurt
thought he
me.
was a guy that they might take a hard
Hmm.
look at as
Yep.
Yeah.
Cliff's
Yeah.
replacement.
Me
So,
too.
but you know what? That's a great move for him. He goes back to
Yeah.
his alma mater where he
Yeah.
played.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's my guy. He's one of the good ones out there. So,
Yes.
so yeah, so let's go Mike B. What you think?
Yeah. I'll be short with this one, which
Mhm.
is I know you guys aren't used to that. I I concur with BJ. I mean, it's more important for Denver to win the game than us. So, and as long as I mean, I'm with you, BC. I would love to win this game, but we know long term is just better for us. Look, man, I'm about winning one more game, and that's making sure the Cowboys don't get in the
That's
playoffs,
not
and
gonna
I'm
happen.
good. If if
Not
you
gonna
Amen
could
to
happen.
give
that.
if you could give me that Christmas game and say if I Gerard, it happens, bro. It happens, man. Because
We have a better chance of beating the Eagles twice than what we do at
no,
beating
I,
the
I
Dallas
hope we do.
Cowboys once. I'm being honest with
I
you.
I hope
agree.
we
The
I
do.
reason
agree.
why I told you
I
in the
agree.
chat is because of the wide receivers.
the
We
only
cannot
reason
check
I
them.
say maybe not is that game is a month from now. We don't know who's going to be on the field a month from now.
It's true.
I'm
Well,
not
I think
wishing injuries on Dak or CD or anybody else,
But
but
we
that
speaking
game
at
is
this
a month.
moment, Mike. We speaking at this moment, Mike. We talking about what's going on right now. Right now, we have no cornerbacks who can stay on the field with the Dallas Cowboys wide receivers.
but
That's
but
the
in
only
fairness,
reason.
but in fairness, they just did work on 2 Pro Bowl cornerbacks in Kansas City. I don't know if anybody can stay with those
Thank you.
guys. So
Right. We definitely can.
yeah, so I
I,
feel better about Philadelphia than I
Yes.
do Dallas.
Well,
And
Yes.
I'll say
it's
this.
my dream on Christmas Day, man.
Hey,
Can a brother dream on can a brother dream on Christmas
Yes.
yeah,
Day?
Yes.
man,
Yes.
Dream.
Yes. We're in dream.
it's I'm not looking forward to that because I got to work
Me
on
either.
that day. That's
They're
just
gonna
crazy.
slaughter us.
But you know what? I will say this though. What do you guys think about, and Sheila, of course, what do you think about, remember how we talk about every year for the past 22 seasons, there's been a different division winner. And I'm sitting here thinking
That's why I want Dallas.
But I was thinking about 3 weeks ago, like, dang, Philly gonna break the streak, man. They're gonna be. Remember, they were the last team that won multiple divisions. So I'm thinking they're getting ready to do it again. I don't know now because that loss yesterday was huge.
It was huge.
Huge.
Did they score a TD or was that all field goals?
No, they scored two touchdowns with AJ Brown.
Yeah,
they missed
the extra point.
Yeah, they missed the extra point.
Okay.
But see, you know what's going to haunt Dallas more so than the tie? The fact that they gave that first game away to Philadelphia, where they should have won that football game.
Yeah.
Because now they're 2 back, but they're technically 3 back because that tie. So I don't think they're going to be able to overcome it. I just don't see Philadelphia imploding like they did 2 years ago, where they lost 8 in a row.
They're on their way. Like what you're saying is,
so
basically,
like
that's what you're saying is Jerry Jones watched your show and was like, "I'm not getting pushed down the steps. I'm gonna win this division."
You know what?
What he did.
He said, "Brad Jones, I don't like that comment. That's not happening." And you know what? Let's be honest, man. The Quinnen Williams pickup and you know the Wilson pickup. That looks like a different football team. It really does.
I mean,
they're going to be their own worst enemy. That's normally what happens. But I like what Schottenheimer's doing because he's loose.
And Carl Pickens put them over the top.
Pickens is good, man.
I'm starting to think Pickens, and I know people might think I'm crazy for saying this, but I'm thinking Pickens might be their number 1 option at wide receiver.
No question.
Yeah, because he does the dirty work.
That fool can catch, man.
Yeah, he does. Like CD's catch radius isn't the same. It's just not.
Exactly.
CD's more of the big play guy, but Pickens is your big play.
His yak is crazy, man.
You know what it is? It's like when you go back to looking. Remember the posse. Art Monk was known to be the guy, but I always said that I thought Gary was the guy. I really did. I thought when you needed a play, a big play, it was Gary.
Yeah.
And when you needed possessions and you needed that tough catch, it was Art. Well, that's what it's looking like in Dallas to me. It looks like CD might be Gary and Pickens might be Art.
They're good for each other, though. You know, you can't
100%. 100%. 100%. And
but
go ahead.
Eagles only have 1.5 games lead over Dallas right now. They lost 4 games. Dallas lost 5 and got a tie. So that's just 2 games.
So but remember that first loss.
Yeah, they got
it's
in conference.
It's in conference for Dallas against the Eagles. So they split. We get that. But had they won that game, they would legit be 1 game behind with the tiebreaker in their favor. So now it's almost like you need Philly to lose 2 more and for Dallas to run the table.
We're going to beat Philly.
But is Dallas going to run the table, though? They would need to run the table.
They will.
I think Dallas will lose 1 more game the rest of the year.
I too. I hope so.
Dallas play Detroit next week. So
I think they're going to beat Detroit, too.
They're going to beat Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit.
What if Detroit comes back and beats them? That's the crazy thing, though, dude. It's like Eagles got the Chargers, the Raiders, us, the Bills, and then us again.
They're going to lose at least 1 or 2 more for sure.
Eagles going to lose at least 3 more games. I promise you.
I think so. I believe you, Gerard.
3 more games.
Where's the game against Buffalo?
I don't believe that.
Okay, where's it
at? At Buffalo.
I said they lose at least 2 more.
They lose that. But see, Buffalo's not good on the road, though. They're terrible on the road. So
the Chargers going to beat them this week. Chargers are a running team. The Bears showed that formula yesterday. The Chargers going to run that ball down their throat.
What I think the difference what made the Bears good is the Bears O-line.
Yeah, they killed them at the line of scrimmage.
They did. They pushed them around like we've never seen Philly.
And you know what, Caleb didn't play particularly well either.
No, he didn't.
So that's the thing. If Chicago can get Caleb to I don't know what it is when I watched him, and you know I text my neighbor Brad, and I told him your boy's looking good. If they can just get Caleb to be consistent, they could really be dangerous. Because when I'm watching the game, he's still missing throws that NFL quarterbacks should not be missing. So, and I think that goes to show you how good of a coach Ben Johnson is, because he takes the ball out of Caleb's hands,
Yeah.
so he doesn't beat them. So they're running the football. They have a two-headed monster at running back right now. Once the pass game comes around for Chicago, I think they're sustainable too going into the future. So
Hey, Lake, I got a question for the group.
Absolutely.
I had sent this text message in our group chat. Do you think now? I had said like none of us thought coming into the season that our team would be the worst team in the division and going in the next season as the worst team. Do you think in the NFC East, from where it look right now, we are the worst team in the division going into the future?
You got the Giants. They still work.
I'm going to say this. I think as of today, yes. But overall, without the injuries, absolutely not.
So let me tell you why I say that going into next season. I think our team has the most question marks going into the season. Now, we got the most important part, the quarterback, but we don't know who our starting running back is going to be. We don't know who our starting defensive end is going to be. You know what I'm saying? We got too many questions. We got more question marks than any other team going into next season. That's just my opinion.
No, that's a fair statement, you know. And but I will say this: I think Bill and Chris have shown enough for me in the backfield that they could be a nice tandem if used properly. Let's just call it like it is, because they have nice runs and then you don't see them anymore. So if there was a concerted effort to run the football, I think you would see a little bit more from this offense and get away from the gimmicky stuff. If they run a bubble screen tomorrow, it's going to get eaten alive against Denver's defense. Let's play conventional football, man. You know, play action. Where is that stuff? Get your quarterback under center. So yes, Brad, I do agree that there are more question marks, because when you look at a team like the Giants, they found their quarterback. They have a nice running back tandem. You know, obviously Scottaboo's hurt right now, but they have a nice running back tandem. We know Malik Neighbors is coming back, and now to pair him up with some of the guys who've been playing well without him, the Giants look like they could be there. But see, the biggest question mark for the Giants is what? Who's going to be their coach? Are they going to give it to their interim coach, Kafka, or are they going to, you know, which I think they should personally. But if they don't, what are they going to do? So those kind of things change the trajectory of what's working for right now. The question in Washington is, the biggest question for me is, what are you going to do with your coordinators? That to me is the biggest question of this offseason. It's not if Terry's coming or are they going to trade. No, it's what are you going to do with your coordinators? Because your two coordinators have not been getting it done. And I just have to say that. I like Cliff. That's my guy.
Y'all sound like y'all want him to go.
I want him to change. I want him to change what he's doing. I don't necessarily believe he needs to go, because he's been, in fairness to Cliff, I mean, he's been shorthanded this year. He's been dealt a raw deal.
Yes.
But what you have without having all these pieces, what are you calling? I mean, you came out. I'll never forget the Seattle game. You came out and passed the ball 7 straight times. And by the way, your other starting receiver in that game got knocked out on the opening kickoff. And you still came out and said, you know what? This was the game plan all along, and I don't know how to change anything. That's what it showed me. So
no motion.
Yeah. And you know what? You know where you're seeing that also? You're seeing that in Philadelphia on the offensive side of the ball. It seems to me like every time they throw to A.J. Brown, it's a catch or a touchdown. But they just refuse to do it consistently. I don't know if...
See, with Philly, I think that ain't how they won, though, right? I think their problem is their confusion as to they got too many stars and they trying to spoon feed too many people. They won by running that rock last year, though. Ain't nothing changed on that offense.
No.
But you know what teams are doing?
That's not necessarily true, though. I mean, Kellen Moore found a way to run that ball last year. Now
that's what I'm saying. They ran the ball and won.
But you know what they're doing though? They're stacking the box.
They're
doing what most people have said for years. Jalen Hurts, you're gonna have to beat us with your arm, because I have yet to believe that you'll make some plays, but I have yet to believe that for a full 60 minutes you're good enough with your arm to beat me. And that's what teams have picked their poison, and their poison was Saquon's not having 2,000 yards again. we're taking him out the game. Now what?
Is he banged up? Is he?
I mean, no
100?
more so than any other running back.
Okay.
It's called the Madden jinx. Madden cover jinx.
That's what
it's
it
called.
is.
To me, it's called coaches outthinking themselves. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
And I hate to see it, man. I hate to see when you know what works, but for whatever reason, it's like, you know what? I'm not going to do that because you might be thinking, I know I can do that. Well, whatever happened to the days of, remember, number 44, Joe Gibbs was like, you're going to get the ball 40 times. And until you stop it, we're going to run the same play at you over and over and over.
That's what the Bears did yesterday.
That's exactly what they did to Philadelphia. They literally ran the ball right into the teeth of the Eagles defense. And I started to see some guys, I'm just saying, in Philly, I never thought I'd say this about a Vic Fangio defense, but I started to see some guys, make business decisions on them runs. Because what is it, Meninga or whatever?
Monanga.
Hey, that's a bowling ball, a wrecking ball coming downhill, 5'8", 220. I mean, come on, man. That's hard to tackle. And I saw guys in that cold weather start to, they backed off a little bit. So,
but like Brad said earlier, though, they beat him at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball.
Both sides of the ball.
Yeah. Wasn't that shocking to see?
Know what?
Yeah,
it was.
Not to turn this into an Eagles thing, because nobody wants to do that. But
we talking negative about the Eagles, so we can keep talking.
But think about it. Milton Williams, Josh Sweat.
Yeah.
Listen, those are huge pieces that are not there that made that defense what it was when they they only had the pass rush 4 guys. See, Garner Johnson, absolutely. You're missing some, and guess what? You brought some attitude there too.
Sure was.
And I think a couple weeks ago, I think somebody in this group posed a question when he was sitting on the street. Could he come to Washington? And I was like, nah, he doesn't fit the locker room. But you know what? Gerard, sometimes you need one of them on your team.
We need some dogs.
You need somebody that's not the most liked person, and that's to keep things spicy at all times. Because one thing I will say about this current group, the nicest kids, man. Like, I generally like this team and the players. I generally do. They're good dudes. That might be the problem.
That's right. You gotta have a couple.
That weird stand though. Every team that he's been released from has been he's disruptive in the locker room. Houston said it. Gardner Johnson. It wears on you after a while.
But you know what? Every team he's left, guess what happened? They lose. They kind of started to look at Kansas City. I mean, they just what's up with Kansas City? We haven't even talked about them. I mean, they're not making the playoffs.
No, they're not going.
Wow. That's shocking. That's shocking.
I think Denver is their problem. A team in their division that's winning. And
the Chargers
took over that division and it just pumped them back. Because we could say the same thing about Lamar. What happened to Lamar this year?
He's hurt.
Lamar, he got a little. I think he got a turf toe. I know he had something with the foot.
He got something, but you know what? Joe Burrow owns Baltimore for whatever reason. He owns Baltimore. I knew when they said Burrow was coming back to play. Why do you think Cincinnati said we're going to put him in this game? If there was ever a game that you would say you hold your quarterback out of, just look at tomorrow and against Denver. They said, Joe Burrow coming back. This is his first game back against that team because he owns them. And that's exactly what happened. So that was a brutal loss for Baltimore.
Yeah.
The saving grace for them is that Pittsburgh's not good to me. So I still think Baltimore wins that division by default.
I think Baltimore need to break up that because their defense ain't as intimidating as it used to be.
No. Yeah, it's not.
So break it up.
You know what they miss on that defense? Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen really with him and Roquan together was something. And then when he left to go, ironically, to your division rival Pittsburgh, it changed the trajectory of Baltimore's defense. But I agree with you. I think there's certain teams that you might have to take a look at and say, is it over? The other team that I don't know if there's anything to break up because their quarterback's still going to be there, but Buffalo might be a team too that if they don't make a run this year,
Yeah.
You're gonna have to get Josh some weapons
Yeah,
because
that's
Got
the
to.
main thing. That's the main
yeah,
thing. They don't have
Got
any
Coleman's
to.
weapons
not
in
it. Yeah,
Buffalo.
yeah,
Yeah. They don't have any
yeah.
weapons for Josh Allen. For
That's what
Baltimore,
it is.
I've always said this is my personal opinion. For Baltimore, I think Lamar in that pocket. When you zone him up, sometimes he is wildly inconsistent, and if he's not using his legs consistently, it's gonna be a long day for the Ravens. And I know he's won MVPs and stuff like that, and that's great. But when it's time to ask him to go out there and win, but with his arms like Jalen Hurts,
So I was going to
he's
say.
not. He's gonna struggle, man. He really is.
That's such the narrative for the mobile quarterback.
Yeah,
That's what people say. Their strength, what makes them super, is the fact that they can
they can
run.
use the legs.
But
Yeah,
if you make them stay in the pocket, and you know what, we're seeing that here. We're
true.
seeing
Yeah.
when Jaden's been on the field, teams have been like, you know what, you're gonna have to beat us from the pocket.
Yeah.
And I've seen Jaden this year. I
He missed
think
some
we all
throws.
have a
He's
little
missed some throws.
skittish in the
Yeah, he
Yeah,
pocket.
did.
When
yeah,
forced to stay in there, it's not the same comfort level he had last year. And let's be fair, he didn't have number 17 for the bulk of the year
Right. But
when he
Thank you.
played.
Yeah.
but Jaden can beat you from the pocket though, right? Is it because he has been like off of his throws, but is it because that timer in his head has been sped up because they've been bringing so much heat on him all the time?
Well,
He,
it's that, and the fact that he hasn't had his weapons. Don't
True.
forget
No Brown.
Austin Eckler.
Yes,
yeah.
big.
That was a huge blow for this
Yes.
team
They
because he was the guy that could run tough between the tackles when he needed to,
Yes.
but more importantly, he was a pass
Excuse me.
catching back. And
Yeah,
they
he'd be in the
haven't had,
flats all the time.
yeah, the other three guys they have, they're capable of catching the ball, but Austin Eckler
Yeah.
is a is
Yeah.
is a pro at
Consistent.
that. That's what he
yeah.
does. So I think with Jaden, when you take away the two biggest weapons that he would look at outside of Zach, of course,
Yes.
it's changed everything, and his
Yeah.
his clock and his mind is like, who do I trust?
Right.
The
Yeah.
beauty of this year, because I always got to put a positive spin on and put a bow on it. The beauty of this year is now you found that Luke can play. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you found some other guys. You have Jalen Lane, who clearly needs to get better, needs
Yeah,
to work on his
Just needs to
hands a little
play.
more.
Just got to
yeah,
play.
yeah,
But
yeah,
again, you got another receiver that's capable of making big
yeah.
plays, and especially in the special teams game. So I think that Washington's found some things. They found some pieces. You'll have Connerly coming back next year better. I think you're finding a way for them to figure out they need Brandon Coleman in the lineup somewhere, but where?
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
question because he's been playing well when he's been on the field.
Mhm.
So now you got some things that you can build with, but more importantly, we all know where this draft needs to go. This draft needs to go on the other side of the football.
Defensive end.
I don't care if the Bolitnikoff winner is sitting there for Washington at wide receiver. I'm not doing it. You have to go on the defensive side of the ball because I think it's proven around the league this year more than any other year. If you have an adequate defense, you can win football games. All you got to do is look
Yeah.
at Chicago. Chicago's
Yeah.
Yeah.
defense, creating turnovers, opportunistic. Their offense really isn't blowing anybody out. It's the
No,
defense that's making plays. And if you look across the board, look at Denver. Yeah, their offense at times can score, but it's their defense that's keeping them in football games to steal them at the end.
Yeah.
And that's what you need for Washington. And we haven't seen that under
Yes.
this new regime. Let's be upfront. When they went to the NFC Championship game last year, it was pretty much at the hands of Jayden and what they were doing offensively.
Yeah.
But the defense, we saw it. We saw it in the NFC Championship game. The defense let them down. So they've
Hey,
got to
Lake.
address that. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Two things.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing, I'm going to make a point to you guys, but then I want to ask everybody a question. The first point is, y'all hear me say all year, DQ, Joe Witt, buddy. Eagles, head coach,
we'll
offense
see.
coordinator, buddy.
Yep.
So they put the team at risk because of those personal relationships and they're good guys and stuff like that. That's one point I wanted to make. My question for you, Lake, and
Again,
we just talked.
because you make that point every week.
Yes, I'm making that point every week.
But he's right
But
though. But he's right though. He's right.
Yeah, he's right.
But
I'm giving him a hard time,
I
but
know. I love you guys, but I love you guys. But look, here's my question. Do we bring, I know my answer already, but I want to hear you guys. Do you bring Eckler back? Blake
Good
and
question.
everybody
Good
else.
question. I got thrown off there for a second because I saw Sheila twice, and I'm like, that was weird. I thought I was watching Us or something.
I
But
think you have some issues over there.
yeah. So do you bring Eckler back?
Yes.
I'm going to say yes, and the
Me
reason
too.
why I say yes, it depends though, because that Achilles injury at that age changes a lot.
Yeah.
But if he's capable, because the good thing is he got hurt so early in the
Right.
season,
Yeah.
he
Right.
could be healthy again. And we know Austin takes care of his body more so than anyone. So to answer your question, Gerard, my answer to that is yes. And then you still have your four backs that you would have had this year anyway.
The dollars have to make sense.
But
Yeah.
again, he's going to have to take a pay cut. You have to. When you're coming off an injury and you're 30 plus, you have to take a pay cut. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And if he's cool with that, I think he will be cool with that because I don't know too many other teams that are going to pay him.
Yeah.
And he knows his role would be big here. I would bring him back for sure. I do. And I'm not saying bring it back so they can have a third year run back of these old guys. I'm not saying that, Gerard.
Okay.
But I
you know
think
where my head at, right?
Oh, I already know, but I think there are a couple of older guys on this team that weren't coming back. Bobby Wagner needs to be back here next year.
Okay.
I think Zach needs to be back if he wants to come back, but not as a starting tight end though.
Not as a starter.
As a number
Cool
2
with that.
tight end. Okay. And then I think
Debo.
Debo to me isn't he's not part of that older group yet. He's still there with Terry. They're like the next wave of your older guys. But Debo definitely, I would bring him back if he wants to come back. But he's going to have to take a pay cut opposed to the big contract that
wanting the bag.
Exactly. Because I do believe that the culture is strong here as far as the guys liking each other in the locker room. That I can attest to. They love each other. So I could see guys wanting to come back to right the wrong because I think most of these guys feel like this year they never had a shot. They just the injury bugs and everything that happened, they just never had a legitimate shot to see how good they could be. And I think next week when Jaden comes back, those 5 games, I want to see. I want to see. I'm with you, Gerard. I don't know if I want to see the W's, but I just want to see glimpses of what could have been. And the reason for that is because they have talent. They do if they're healthy. That's a whole nother subject though, the health bug. That might be a subject for another day.
How old is Wise? Is he what age bracket he falls?
Dietrich Wise.
Dietrich's like 32, 33. Yeah. But he's another healthy dude. Like when I mean healthy, he keeps his body straight. He's super smart, great guy in the locker room, and he's a good football player. That was one of the biggest injuries they had. I'm saying this.
Right.
If he never got hurt, you wouldn't see all these deficiencies on the defensive line.
I agree.
And you would see Kinlaw. Remember, Kinlaw was playing like a man-child throughout preseason in the first 2 games until Dietrich got hurt. I bring Dietrich back as well.
on the outside, too. When we lost DA, that was big.
That hurt, too. Man. So,
I'm bringing it all
sounds
back.
like you want to bring at least 6 of the older guys back.
No, I would bring 4 to 5 of them back, but there's like 9, 10 of them, Like I mean, think about it. Von Miller wants to come back. I don't know if I bring Von Miller back though, I wouldn't do that.
He's done, man.
Yeah, I mean,
he needs to retire.
You know what I think it is? I don't know if Von's done. I think he looks done when you don't have weapons around you.
And you ask him to play a whole lot.
Now you're asking a lot from a guy his age.
Yeah.
But if he had another stud on that line, remember everybody got hurt. But if he had another stud on that line, I'm talking about from a blitzing standpoint. Like if Frankie was doing what we all thought they should have done with him, Von Miller might stand out a little bit more because you wouldn't have to focus on him. And I'm not trying to pile on Frankie, but come on now, y'all know this.
I mean,
this hasn't been his best year. This has been his worst year.
I don't know why though. Is it play calling? Is it? I mean, he's healthy, right?
He always feels
he's
out of position. I always think he's out of position for some reason.
they're not playing him like they did last
No.
year. And they kept saying, well, he looked like a little bit of himself in Madrid when Dan got back in to call the plays. I know, Gerard, we agree with you.
Yes. Yeah.
Weeks too late. But the point is,
Yeah.
they started using him to be that havoc creator, But
That's
when
what he
you're
is.
asking him to cover tight ends and cover backs out the backfield and get that guy on a straight line, beeline to that quarterback like they were doing last year. And this guy was running all over the field, hitting people last year. Guys were scared of Frankie Louisville on the
Pro
field.
bowler.
They don't see that
man.
now. They're like, we're
Yeah.
going to throw at this guy right here because he can't cover. That's the problem that we're all seeing here. We've talked about it week after week after week.
Yeah.
So let's ask you this question. If they go out and perform better again on defense tomorrow and give themselves a chance, okay? Let's just say there's going into the fourth quarter and it's a one score possession, meaning it's a competitive game and they're in the football game. Do you feel like Dan just needs to permanently be that defensive coordinator? Because I'm saying that I think he should go into next year as a defensive coordinator unless they can plug Al Harris from Chicago, who's their D-back coach. If they can get him, who we all said should have been the guy in the first place, if you ask me, that's where I'm going. But if not, I think Dan needs to stay as a defensive coordinator. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's
I'm
cool
down
with
with
that.
that.
Yeah.
I think the coach should just focus on one position of being a coach. That's why you got coordinators. But I think you should get a good coordinator who's going to run your system or y'all come in agreement with. But I think coaching should just focus on the entire locker room.
Go ahead, Brad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I'm pretty much done. I just think a coach should just be the coach. Get you a defensive coordinator. Now he can oversee that but I think get you a defensive coordinator who just gonna run that.
So let me just throw this out there though. Andy Reid, has won some Super Bowls, and he's pretty much the offensive coordinator in Kansas City.
Yeah, but look who his offensive coordinators have been though. Them dudes been his little brothers though, right?
Well, that goes back to Gerard's statement. Like, is that good or bad? Because look at Sean McVay in LA. He's the offensive coordinator. We know that.
Yeah.
And that team is my team to get to the Super Bowl right now out of the NFC.
Me too.
Look at Seattle. McDonald is the coach, but he's he's the defensive coordinator, and it's working. So Ben Johnson in Chicago, he's the offensive coordinator. So I think it can be done. I know I named a lot of offensive guys and only one defensive guy. So maybe, Brad, to your point, maybe there is something with that. But I just think a defensive coach normally doesn't meddle with the offense anyway. So he could just still be that defensive coordinator. And then when the offense has the ball, then that's when he backs off. We kind of wish he doesn't. Because the guys running the offense there sometimes need somebody to intervene.
Thank you. That's what I was going to say.
They do, because even with the injuries that we've had, we can all agree that we shouldn't be three. This is a 5-6, 6-5 team with better play call. We win in Miami last week.
At worst, right?
We win in Miami. We win the Bears game and maybe the Atlanta game. We're in the thick of this. Everybody getting healthy, and we would be taught. This is a 5-6 team.
Yeah.
With better play calling.
Yeah. So who's in the and we put your hand up. Who's in the camp of you don't want them to win games because you want that better draft pick?
I was there.
Hey, but double hands.
I was there.
They could beat the Eagles. They could beat the Eagles.
I was there a couple of years ago when it came to getting a quarterback out of that class.
Yeah, that was.
But like you mentioned, but as you mentioned earlier, I don't see a big time, transitional player out of this draft.
Well, at least that will be there when they pick, because I do think the defensive end from Miami is legit.
Now I like Bain. I do like.
But you're not going to get him. He's not falling beyond 3.
But this is why I say they need to pick an identity of what they're going to do, right? Like, decide what you want to do. If you want to be that stonewall defense, or if you want to be that high-powered offense, whatever decision, whatever identity you want, then put your staff together, put these scouters together, and get the guy that's going to fit your system. You know what I'm saying? Because I go back to Detroit we was here. When Brad Holmes, and it's amazing that man hasn't won a GM of the year.
Executive of the year.
Right.
He's never won it, but nobody wanted them to draft Jahmyr Gibbs when they did. They was like, they drafted him too high, blah, blah, but they found what they wanted to do, their identity. And that dude is the best running back in the game right now to me.
Yeah, I agree
Jameis
with
Williams, everybody thought they drafted him too high, but he fit their system. So I'm just saying, to your point, you like, there's nobody there who we want. Find out what you want to do, and then go pay your scouts to get the right person in place. And then you can do that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. That's just me.
Well,
Hey,
I
Ray.
mean, and the good GMs do things that people may not like. I mean, look up in Philly. You know, when they
Yeah.
drafted Jalen Hurts, people are like, this guy had to transfer. He wasn't even good enough to be
Right.
out to at Bama. Well, the rest is history. 2 Super Bowls, 1 Super Bowl MVP. I mean, sometimes you have to do the things that you know are best for your team. So I'll ask you guys this. What is best for Washington? If you were GM, is it best to attack the defense, or is it just you're going best player on the board? What would you do? And this will be our next question. So we'll fire away. Gerard, I'll let you fire it up.
Okay, I'm gonna fire it up. This is where I'm at. The reason why I say draft picks, because we don't have a whole lot of draft picks at the moment. We need to get players. Right now, we're an older team. We need to get younger. To Brad's point, we need to find guys that's going to fit whatever style of play we're going to play, whether it's offense or defense. I think it needs to be both sides of the ball, not just heavy catered on one side. We have one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So in Brad's case, it should be offense. You should get this quarterback everything he needs if you're going to pick a certain identity. I feel it needs to be both ways. We need to build a team, get as many draft picks as possible that you can get so you can plug. But my only fear is we had that year for last, and they chose certain guys who don't even get on the field. So I'm not sure if we got the management staff 100% in place because Ben Sinnott, Johnny Newton, they were second and third round picks. Brandon Coleman was a non-player for the most part of this season. So I'm not sure if these guys even going to be capable of doing that with good draft selections. I don't care if it's a 7th rounder, as long as you can pick it. Look at Bill. He's a 7th rounder. I think he's great. Just got to use him properly and train him up. So that's where I'm at. That's why I say we need draft picks, because I want to build a team for the future, not just for one season.
That's a good point. And is that fair to, people say, oh, you're an Adam guy. No, I'm just throwing this out there. If Adam can find a Bill in the 7th round, does that acquit him for the early draft picks that haven't
But that's what
necessarily
he's
worked
known
out
for,
yet?
the late rounds. He's
Right.
not known for the early rounds. That was
Could be
John, the other
Lynch?
GM for the 49ers.
John Lynch.
Lynch. They said Adam did the later rounds. That's what he was known for. I'm just throwing it out there.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I mean that kind of says something then, because their late round draft picks are normally producing.
Yeah.
It's the early ones outside of Jaden, of course. I
Right.
mean, I think
That's
any of us
automatic.
could have taken Jaden and got that right. But again, where do you go? Like Sheila, what would you do?
Defense. I would go deep. Forgive me, BJ. I'm about to. I'm not gonna say the name though. But the last regime, to his credit, he
You can
did
say it.
that. He
I
picked
took my
the
camera off. You can
identity.
say it.
He picked the identity and he picked defense, and he went defense.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did every draft.
Yep.
And we had that wall that was supposed to be the law firm of Payne, Sweat.
Alabama.
Was it a wall or was it a wooden fence?
But he, no, I mean, it turned out bad, but he did pick. So back to Gerard's point. Even after you decide which way you're gonna go, the groceries just gotta be
Right.
You know what I mean?
It can't. I mean, you got to go to Whole Foods or something, man. You can't
Yeah.
keep going to Aldi. I mean, I'm not trying to throw it out there because look, every now and then I go in Aldi myself, But the point is, look, but you go in them stores for certain things.
You lost a sponsor, dog. You lost.
No, I'm just saying, man. You're not going in you're not going in that store to get, prime ribs and steak. You're going in there to get little, some condiments, some other stuff. But
Right.
let's be honest. I think that is a fair question though. Like, are they going to get it right?
I
And
know.
that's the big question for everybody right now is we've seen the body of work as far as these draft picks. I think we all think that these young guys have talent, but we were expecting for them to not have to be talking like this. We were expecting for them to be like difference makers, and we just haven't seen it. We haven't. We've seen Jaden, but what other draft pick can we think of over the last two drafts that for sure is entrenched in their position, their respective position? Is there anyone outside of Jaden?
That's entrenched.
I mean,
That's entrenched. That's what you're asking.
Yeah, Amos.
Amos, that's the only one I could think
Yeah,
of.
that's
I
true.
might say
Amos is
Amos
there.
and Connerly. I might say
Right.
Amos and Connerly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those
Those
two.
two.
This is
But
why
I mean,
I say we got too many question marks going into the
that's
season.
fair.
We got too many. And to go back to Mike B's point, bringing up that terrible coach who I just can't stand, he did go all defense, but he only did it on the D line. He did that on the back half.
That's
Well, he
true.
got
well,
well. He did draft
what
Emmanuel
about those two
Forbes
fools out
and
in
Benji.
the
Yeah,
Rams?
He did draft
And
both of those
Curl
guys.
Annual Forbes
and
is showing
Forbes.
off right now.
But in our group, in our chat, we talked about Emmanuel
We
Forbes.
did.
Defenses, they all in their line because that he ain't got to guard nobody.
Their
The
defensive
Rams
line
front,
wreaks havoc.
their front seven. I can play cornerback out there, and their front seven is
It's true.
ridiculous.
It's true.
This is why I went back and said a couple shows ago. I think this is a huge off season for
Yep,
AP and
Huge.
DQ.
it is.
Really
It is.
Yeah, it's got to
Understatement.
be.
It is.
Understatement.
I think for AP as far as selecting guys and putting this 53 together, practice squad, the whole nine is going to be big. Just based over the past two seasons, where you win one, you lose one. Same for DQ. Now you have some coaching turmoil to where you have to take over play calling and stuff like that. This all season is going to be huge for both of them. I'm not saying you go run them out the door if you have a losing
No.
season next year, but it's going to tell a lot to where what are you putting together and what are you coaching out there on the field at the same time. So it's a big off season for both.
They can run Witt out the door. I'm sorry.
Where's that kid Kane Madrano?
They can
Like
run
he's never
Witt
touched the
out
field.
door.
Yes. Where's Madrano? Where's Madrano?
Where's Madrano?
Y'all know that's my dude, man. That's one of the young pups that I like. I don't know, and I've been talking to him a lot about that, and he's like they had said that he was going to get out there, but I haven't seen it yet. So my thing is this: there's only two scenarios with why a player can't get on the field. One, they're not good enough. And if that's the case, that's a bad indictment on you picking them.
Right.
Or secondly, you haven't coached him up enough to be out there.
Right.
I think it's the latter. Because I know the kid is super athletic.
Yeah.
And he's smart.
He's a tweener, though. He's a tweener.
He's a tweener, and that's fine. But you can put him on the outside.
Blake, let's go one more step.
I already know where you're going.
Let's go one more step, Blake.
UCLA.
UCLA. Yeah.
No, that's not it. Let's go one more step.
Hello.
It's because of Wagner, Frankie, Louvu. They already believe in Jordan McGee. So they got Jordan McGee playing as far as young. So if you're going to play the other kid, you got to take off Wagner and Louvu, and our coaching staff is not ready to do that yet.
Well,
that's why you don't see this guy.
Because the thing is that there's things that we know Frankie does well, and there's things that we know he doesn't do well.
Right.
And if I know that this kid is fast as lightning, why is he not out there to cover a tight end?
Loyalty.
Yeah, loyalty takes you so far, and I'm a loyal guy. I love loyal people, love you guys because you're loyalty to me and vice versa. But if I know you just this is just fun rhetoric here. But if I know you just finished shanking somebody, Gerard, you're not coming on this show.
Thank you. That's my point. The season is over. Let's see what these young guys have.
Hey, there's no reason.
3 weeks.
There's no reason why Ali Cahoe, undrafted guys, should be getting snaps over Kane Madrano, who you drafted early. That makes no sense.
And to me, I get that Ali's more like in the middle. I get that.
Yeah.
But I just want to see again. You have nothing You're not playing for a playoff spot. Why are you not getting some of these younger guys more reps? I see it slowly happening. We talk about Tyler Owens, and I get it. But then when they run out the lineup, Jeremy Reeves is still out there. Um, Quan's still out there struggling. I'm just like, look, show me something else just for now. I'm not saying you off Quan. I'm not saying that, but you've seen what you've seen, okay?
Yes.
Now I need to see what I need to see from someone else to see
Yeah.
if they can be another answer.
Yeah.
And with Will and Tyler, I really want to see that tandem together because it's rangy guys that will come up and hit you, but guys that have wheels that can move. Let's face it, this defense looks slow. My mother used to say, slow as Methuselah.
Yeah.
They look slow, and I want to see some speed. And I think that's another thing that goes back to what Brad was saying earlier too. When you went out and you brought in a Dedrick Wise and you brought in Eddie Goldman and you brought in some guys for your defensive line, Javon Kinlaw, I thought it was brilliant moves. I thought that they were sacrificing edge rushing, but more importantly, they were going to get guys that could hold the line, and you weren't going to run the football on this team because that was their biggest Achilles weakness last year was teams ran the football on them. So when they made those moves, that was great. But they did kind of overlook the fact that they didn't have an edge rusher. Okay, let's call it like it is. They brought in Vaughn, but when the draft was going on, there were 2-3 edge rushers sitting there, and they decided to take Trey. I have no problem with Trey because I like Trey, and I think he's their number one corner going forward.
Yes, he is.
But man, oh man, you know this. The two most important positions on the football field are the quarterback and a defensive lineman.
But you know what? They did it. They did it on the offensive side of the ball too. For the life of me, I just don't understand. You gave Chris Moore and Robbie Chosen multiple opportunities. Why you couldn't go get a young player or somebody's practice squad and just see what you have
off the streets?
And we still haven't seen Ja'Cory Brooks. We still haven't seen Ja'Cory Brooks, and he's been there all year.
Taylor Heineke came off the streets.
Yes, he did. Off the couch.
Off
the
streets.
I'm just saying, man. It's what the worst thing that's happening right now, that's making all of us question some of the coaching as far as schemes and things like that is I just keep going back to the Giants. They were supposed to be god awful, and each week I'm like, they might win this football game. They should have won this football game. And I'm not talking about against bad teams. They should have beat the Broncos,
without their number one wide receiver,
without their biggest weapon on offense.
And their quarterback's not really throwing the football down the field.
He just getting concussions. That's all he doing.
But if you're a Giants fan, you feeling pretty good about next year when you can put it all together. That's a problem. That's
why I said we got the most questions going into next season. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
sorry to cut you off, Gerard. But I want to say real quickly.
Go ahead, bro.
I understand the Josh Connerly pickup. He's going to be good, but I think they could have got him later in the second round. I do think they let some edge rushers go by that they could have gotten. And then I'll say this about a draft pick. If they decide which way they want to go, right? Because obviously we're going to draft in the top 10. We know that. But if you decide which way you're going to go, make your identity, pick that guy. Because if you trade back, if you pick your identity, a guy that's going to fit your system, you got a guy that will be great for your system, pick him. Because if you draft back, I would rather have a guy that's going to be great for your system as opposed to getting two good guys and get one great one that's going to fit your system. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. The only problem I have with that, though, is, and it makes perfect sense. The problem is, what is their system?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know. Like you could get a guy that runs a 4.3 and he's huge. The kid from South Carolina receiver looks like he could be great. There's a kid out Arizona State that looks like wide receiver, looks like he could be great. Are they going to be great here? And I understand we got Jaden throwing the ball, but Jaden still has to call the plays for a system that's set up. that to me might be too gimmicky for him. I need to
Yeah.
see Jaden in New England system. I mean, where it's only 4 or 5 plays they running up there offensively for Drake May, but guess what? He gets a chance to decide where he wants to go, and it looks fluid. That's what I'm saying.
Like Cliff
Like-
wants to go.
That's what I'm saying.
You were just speaking of the system, and I want to chime in on that. So each year, an organization wants to see their younger players get better. Can anyone on this panel tell me where Jaden looks better this year than he was last year? Or is the system? I know he's been injured, but is the system holding him back from progressing?
Absolutely.
But can we honestly answer that question? He ain't been on the field. He had his leg.
See, I see him look worse than he did last year.
But I don't think we can accurately answer that question.
He's off point. He's off point.
Well, I'll say this. When everyone was on the field in the first game against the Giants and in the second game against Green Bay, it did not look good. It just didn't look. And I understand Terry played a part in that. We keep doing that because it's true. Terry wasn't up to speed at that point yet, too, because of the holdout and all that. And he got hurt in week 3 against the Raiders. So that again, I'm looking at next year as, before I pile on and get after everybody and you didn't do this and do that, I had said even last year, you guys heard me say it, year 3 for me is when I'm going to know what Washington truly is, because we know last year was the magical season. It happens. We know this year is a train wreck of a season. It happens. So is this team closer next year to this year's team or the first year? Well, they're going to have to turn this roster over. So it's not going to be the team from that first year. We do know that. Just from a body standpoint. I would hope to think that they're not going to be as bad as what they look like right now. Because I agree with you, Mike Barrett. At worst, this team should have 5-6 wins right now. At worst. Yeah. Okay. But with all of that said, the honeymoon's over. Yep. If they stink it up next year, they haven't seen this fan base turn yet. And when it does turn, it's bad. It's rabid dogs.
Only reason they're not turning is because of their quarterback. That's the only reason they're not turning. Because
I agree, Michelle. You're right.
That's right.
You're right.
That's because people were like, we understand the injury. So people have found something to say. And I'm saying it myself. I cover this team every day. That's not what I was expecting to cover. And there's guys, like I said, that last week may have given me my food at one of them grocery stores.
They were the shoppers.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I lost the sponsor. They're like, we're not working with you anymore, Lake. But again,
they went to shoppers.
They could have been giving me the crossover meats. How about that? That's right. The show's brought to you by Crossover Meat. So maybe they were handing me the boxes of crossover meat at the grocery store. But that's a problem, man. When you can't even name, and that's the thing. I said when I go in the locker room, this could be like, okay, you play on Sunday, and then we're off Monday. We're off Tuesday. We show back up on Wednesday. And I don't know some of the guys in that locker room. Like, who is that? And it's been like that every week.
We say that when they go on the field. I'd be like, who is that?
They don't even have names up on the locker room sometimes because there's that much turnover going on.
You can see
guys getting hurt brushing their teeth, right, Mike?
Hey, Lake.
Yes.
I want to go ahead and put it out there. I'm going to say it. DQ is on the chopping block for me. This is last season coming up. If I do not see him run this team,
Gerard, you in trouble, dog.
I disagree. I disagree with that,
DQ.
though.
I like DQ.
I think he's the constant that they have.
Right.
Hold up. Let me explain myself.
Go ahead.
Everything what we're talking about, y'all, everything what everybody's talking about, I told you from the beginning, it stems from DQ on the offensive side of the ball and the defense side of the ball. He do not get the most out of his players. Brotherhood is great. All this and that. Picking all these captains, that's great. Okay. But if you're not producing, we have an all-star coaching staff. We have coaches that done coach on a running back. He's been a coach. Cliff's been a head coach. We have a lot of different head coaches on our staff. He is not using the guys, putting them in the right position. Before the season started, I just knew they were going to use Frankie Louvu a little different, make him show his speed, bring in some of these young guys to offset the older guys with the speed. That's all about scheme and knowing when to have certain play calls. He allowed Joe Witt to stay so strong in it and not put his stamp on it. When you ask the question, do I want him to be the defensive coordinator next year? He don't have to be, or even if he do, I want him to coach. Just don't sit there and just let everybody do everything, especially when it's not going right and you see us losing and players not doing what they need to do, all these injuries. You got to put your stamp on that. That's all I'm trying to say. I don't see that without him.
So let me ask you this, though. This town was witness to one of the, in my opinion, 5 greatest coaches of all time in Joe Gibbs. Okay.
Yes.
And for anybody out there watching and you're like, oh, this is a Commander show, centric show. No, listen, 3 different quarterbacks, Super Bowls. That goes to show the greatness of somebody that can adapt to the talent that
whatever
they have.
he got.
Yes.
But I'm gonna throw this out there. Did Joe Gibbs interfere with Richie Pettibone on the other side of the ball?
No.
No.
I don't think so.
Not too much. No.
Okay. So what I'm saying, though, if he didn't do that, that's also a sign of a guy that understands, let some guys do their thing. And I think that that's what Dan has tried to do. And maybe it's taken 6-7 games too late for him to figure out. But he has figured it out. You got to give him credit because it's not easy to demote your boy. It's not. And he did do it. That's why I'm saying next year is the year.
That's why I said next year. I said next year. That's why I spoke. I said next year.
So before anybody can get on the coaching staff, I think next year has got to be the year.
That's what I said. Next year.
If I could ask, though,
next year,
talking about with, and most coaches or GMs bring people they're familiar with. So Dan brought who he was familiar with.
Right.
But do you think we kind of overestimated the talent? Because we don't really have it, right? And these injuries kind of show that. I mean, we got some sprinkled here and there, but we don't really have the talent. And to go back for a second, like when we were talking about how Jaden was off, our offense was too dependent on one wide receiver. When he went down, our offense was like a car with a bad muffler. We putted, right? And then I had asked this question a couple weeks ago. I think it was in our group chat or it was on the show. As a fan base, are we patient enough for the rebuild? Are we, you know what I'm saying? We struggle.
I don't think the fan base is now. And the reason for that is because they saw last year.
Right.
Last year
I thought last year was fool's gold.
It was a gift to the fans, but it was a curse to the fans because what it did was it showed that if you have the right piece at quarterback, it changes your fortunes of your franchise instantly. And it did. It changed the fortunes of this franchise. So everyone's thinking, remember the comments, we all used to say this. Ellison used to say it all the time. This is going to be the worst roster that Jaden ever plays on.
It was.
Last year's roster was better than this year's roster as far as healthiness.
Just health. But not far as pure
not
talent.
As talent. Not as far as sheer talent. Right.
And you guys gotta realize it wasn't the coaching, it was JD5 last year.
JD5
was the reason.
100%. He had an S on his chest every game.
Yeah.
And that got him through. But again,
that's the reason.
But I do say this though. I saw the vision of what Adam was trying to do. Me too. Getting Laramie, by drafting Connerly. Protect your line, protect your biggest asset, your quarterback. You got a Pro Bowler.
I give them an A with the offensive line. I give them an A.
And then he went out and traded for Debo to pair with Terry so that Terry didn't have to be a one-man gang, your only weapon on offense outside of your quarterback. You saw the vision of how this thing looked like, okay, this is enough to attack Philadelphia going forward.
Yeah.
And then you made the moves on the defensive line and you drafted in the second round a corner that was a first round grade by all of us who covered the draft. That was a first rounder last year, Trey Amos. So for him to be there in the second round, I'm seriously thinking to myself, every move they made this offseason, they drafted a running back where they shipped out the former starter because they liked this kid enough. You drafted a wide receiver to be a special teams guy and a slot guy, and he's proven that he can do those things. He just needs to do it more consistently. I'm talking about Jalen Lane.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was set up to me for them to run it back. It was. The problem was they didn't account for they still had a gap between their starters and their backups. That's the difference between the Detroits and the San Franciscos, the teams who've been hammered with injuries. They already have their system in place for 5, 6, 7 years, and they have depth to back up their starters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they don't have that. All right, so they don't have that here, and that's what year number 3's got to address.
So
I
my
don't
question is, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay, so we tried that. We tried to win now. We didn't. Okay, now what?
He just said it.
Like now what? Like, do we tear it all down and start from the beginning?
No, I don't think you need to tear it all down. I think you need to add to some things, and you need to add in some key positions though.
Yep.
Like you got to get yourself an edge rusher. You have to, or two. I was just about to say that, Gerard, or two. You know, you have to get, in my opinion, you have to find a free safety, and I mean a roamer, a guy that, like, you know, we've been cursed, man, because we saw potentially the GOAT. You know, we saw Sean Taylor, the late great.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Sean Taylor. We saw that guy intercepting passes. We saw this guy putting fear in people. Guys, receivers saying when a play was called and they needed to do a crossing route, nah,
that's right.
I'm not running that because they knew what was coming. It doesn't matter. The fear of him being able to play like that would have scared some people.
Yeah.
Who on the back end of this defense scares anybody?
Nobody.
That's what I'm saying. They're finding guys when it's so bad at times. They're finding guys that I'm gonna pick on and target, and there's nothing you can do about it. So that's what I'm saying. If I'm Washington, I think you got to make sense now with these picks. You have to. And when I say make sense, you can't pick somebody that you think has potential. You need to know that they have the potential, and they're going to come out week 1 and be a big part of what you're doing. Because the whole thing with Ben, Sanat, I mean, the Senate, the fact that you haven't found a way to get this guy on the field more often
don't make sense.
And I know what I saw at Kansas State. I know at Kansas State, that guy looked to me like Chris Cooley. He looked like Chris Cooley.
They just don't use him. They don't play him.
He was an H-back in college. That's what he was. He was basically an H-back.
That's Cliff.
They have not. Well, just because Cliff's offense doesn't use H-backs. So when you drafted this guy, if you drafted him with the mindset of he's going to learn from Zach and he could be similar to Zach, you didn't see that right then. you just didn't.
So is Cliff back next year?
Well,
I don't know.
Cliff's not a head coach, man. He may think he's a head coach.
He has no choice but to come back here.
Right.
People keep saying, what about him going to your, what about him going to your school at Penn State? Hell no. I don't want that. I don't want that. No. By the way, give it to Terry. That's my dude. We went to school when we were there. Terry Smith should be the head coach. Give it to Terry Smith. He needs to be the head coach. All right. So with that said, and that gets Bobby off the hook because I wanted Bobby to interview for that, and the whole nother story. I'm saying that if you're Washington, if you don't get this offseason right, y'all looking like you ready to turn. you're giving them all the love, and this is your guys, and I get it.
It's hard,
but I hear it. I hear it right under here. It's like
Gerard,
it's coming up. It's coming up. And Gerard been like that most of this season.
Most of the season,
he's ready.
I just want to see consistency. As long as I have patience, what Brad asked about, I have patience. As long as I can see us moving in the right direction, they're not using these players properly. Right. That's where I'm upset. I got patience if I can see improvement. So I see the plan.
I'm on the thing. If you're gonna get rid of Cliff, where are you gonna go? Right? Which direction? Who you going to hire?
Well,
And
the problem is Tavita's gone now,
I
and that
wanted him
that
bad.
that
That's who
hurt.
I wanted.
That
Yeah.
hurt. That hurts.
That
That
hurt
hurts.
bad.
Good for
then I
him.
think that goes back to
Congratulations,
what
but
we
that hurts.
discussed earlier. What is your identity going to
I'll
be?
bet you Jaden's not
If you
happy
going
about it.
if you want to bring in, if
Yeah.
you got the opportunity to go swoop up a Mike McDaniels, then that's the direction you're gonna go on offense. Go get you
Got
that
to.
Well,
high
they
power type offense,
Got
or
to.
or if you're gonna get rid of Witt and you got an opportunity to get you a good defensive coordinator who has already proven himself, then you go that way. I think it's gonna have to start with AP and Quinn. Like, okay, which direction we gonna go right now? Then
Yeah.
that's gonna
Yeah.
dictate our draft picks, our free agents, and all that down the road. It got
The
to
one
start from there.
the one thing that I will say about Cliff, and you always know this with young quarterbacks, because you saw it in Arizona with him and Kyler. He and Jaden have a really good relationship,
relationship.
and
Mm-hmm.
that helps his calls because if you could see it was kind of fractured, like you see this a lot with young quarterbacks and their coordinators. You saw it in Baltimore with Lamar and his previous coordinator. You could just tell him and Greg Roman, like, come on, man, like we're not doing this. We should be doing that. And I'm not so sure it's not happening in Baltimore right now too.
Mm.
With the offensive coordinator now, because he's come up as a dud in some big games for them over the last 2-3 years. But anyway, I think for Washington, once again, there's so many pieces in play that will be good for next year if they come back healthy, and you'll be able to really get a full assessment. So we may have to be in another year of assess mode. I know people don't want to hear that, but I think the league is so wide open right now that you can
Yeah.
still be in an assessment mode and still win some games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
long smooth, right.
The Bears are in the first year of what they're doing, and they look like Washington last year.
Yeah.
Is Chicago going to win these games next year that they're winning this year? Probably not. I'm not saying that they're not going to be a good football team or a playoff team, because they will, but they're winning games that they have no business winning. The Pittsburgh
Yeah.
game is a prime example of that. They were supposed to lose that football game, and somehow the gods aligned it for them, and
Just
they're
with us.
winning. Yeah. Say that again, Sheila.
Same thing with us.
Yeah.
That's
Our
that's
game.
exactly it.
Yes,
That's they look just like Washington from last year. They
Yeah.
Yeah.
they do, and they'll probably make a little run in the playoffs, knock a couple teams off, and then maybe have to go say like to LA, and they're not beating the Rams. They're just not. So
Are they bragging about they beat the whole NFCs?
I
That was
saw
I mean,
on.
that.
they
That was
did,
on.
so they can
That
say
was
it.
on
They
there
can brag
today.
it.
I saw
But
that.
they did it.
They did it.
They
I
did.
mean,
Did it.
if you can say whatever you want when I got the receipts to show this is what I
Right.
did. Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
but now you got to, if you play Philadelphia again in the playoffs, or if they play Dallas in the playoffs, like if that's a wild card game, let's just say they go on and win their division, which they have a chance to do now.
Sure.
Yeah.
And Dallas is the wild
Might
card.
do
They're playing in Chicago. That game not going to be like the game they beat Dallas in Chicago
Uh-uh.
earlier in the
No.
year.
No,
I can
hell no.
assure you that.
Yeah.
If it's Philadelphia coming into Chicago in a
Mhm.
wild card game, I don't know if I would feel good about that. Although you did beat Philly pretty handily yesterday, it's a different entity when you enter the playoffs. So before we
Yeah.
wrap this up, I want to have some fun here. So we still have everyone in here, one person left. So what I want to do is,
That one
since we're,
person was me. I was.
oh,
No,
okay.
I was
So
there
that's fine.
late.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask this question, and you tell me, that's an iPhone guest. So I can actually remove that, can I?
You can move it now, yeah. Because what I did was I was losing space or whatever. It just blinked off. So that's what I try to get on my phone.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this. Nobody up here is an iPhone guest.
See,
Good.
now it's
So
gone again. Let me
There
see.
you go. Let's go.
okay, I don't want
Okay.
to report it though. Okay, so yeah, so this is gonna be fun here. This is where everybody has to use their brains together here. I'm gonna ask the question as far as who is the most patient out of this group for this team, and who is the least patient. And I'm gonna let y'all answer this one. So, who,
I
in
know
your
I am.
opinion? So
I
one
am.
being the least patient, 10 being the most patient. Who is a 10? Who's the most patient? I think we all know who that is.
I am.
Oh, you got Brad and Ellison say you are?
I am.
Who you
I'm
say? Who you
patient.
think it
I
is?
was going to say Sheila.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's the most patient. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I'm in the middle.
I think you
go
got to change the
Brad.
question.
Yeah, well, no. I go Sheila, Brad, Ellison, Brandon. Oh no. Yeah. Brandon and Shano, y'all both have great points on both sides of the fence. So yeah, I would have Shano like at a 5. Like he's right there in the middle. Brandon's like right there in the middle. I might go Brandon at a 6. Shano
Okay.
5. Mike Barrett might be a 4, and then Gerard is a 3.
You got me that close to Gerard?
Gerard's a
Oh,
1,
no.
man.
You got
Gerard's
me
a
wrong,
1.
Lee.
I mean, is that
Gerard's a
fair?
1.
Is
You got
that
me
fair?
wrong.
No,
He
I'm
should
not.
have
got me
zero.
wrong.
Who said that? Somebody said they got Gerard at a 1.
I have him
I
at a
do.
0.
Who
Gerard's
said that?
always
Who said
pissed.
that?
I said
I
that.
You
have
said
him
that,
at
Brandon. Look, you
0.
got
Gerard, you're always
He
mad,
has
man, but I
no
love
I'm
you,
not
dude. I
mad.
love you.
Look, you guys got
You're
me wrong.
frustrated, brother. You're frustrated,
Yeah,
man.
no
I
I'm not
know.
even frustrated. I'm just looking for change. I'm looking for
Yeah,
consistency. I've
So,
been
I
a
know.
fan my whole life. I'm 51
Me
years
too,
old.
man.
well, I
I'm
got
the
you.
same
Okay.
age.
I
We
got
same
you.
So
age, man.
all I'm saying to you all is I'm very patient. I live and breathe these guys.
Me
So
too,
I
man.
see, and I'm a realist with this team, and I'm a realist in
Yeah.
life. So all I'm saying to you is some of this stuff is just common sense. They
Yeah.
can do it. They the professionals. They get paid millions. I don't
That's
get
right.
paid nothing like these guys.
That's
But I
right.
watch them and I live them and I breathe them.
All right. Well,
So I
Well,
let
want
me
some
cut you off there.
consistency.
Let me cut you off, Gerard, and just
That's it.
ask you straight up
Yes.
question.
Straight up.
Do you want a new head coach for Washington?
No.
Okay.
But
Okay. Hold
I
on. Wait.
do.
Hold on. So you said no for coach. Do you want a new defensive coordinator? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
No Joe Witt. No Joe Witt.
Do you want a new offensive coordinator?
These last 5 weeks going to tell me a lot.
Who's
Once
somebody got
once
TV on?
once JD5 come back,
I
because he's
don't
gonna
know
come
that
back,
yet.
it's going to tell me a lot.
Who did somebody have a TV on?
I don't know.
There we
Once
go. Whatever
once
that did, it needed it. It
JD5
was
come
Sean.
back,
Okay.
once JD5 come back, and we got these weapons, and they can play for a whole month straight, that will tell me about Cliff for next year.
I want a new
Yeah.
OC. I want a new OC.
Ellison
I
wants
do.
a new OC.
I want a
Okay.
new OC. Yeah,
And
'cause
your
we
reason?
don't run the ball enough. We don't run the ball enough, and even when we do run the ball, it's going right back to the short pass game.
I agree with him. I
Okay.
can agree to that
Anybody else
point.
want a new offensive coordinator?
You
I'll give
BJ,
him.
you want a
I'll
new
give him another
OC,
year.
BJ? You want a
Sheila,
new
you said you
OC?
do?
No, I said I'll give him another year.
Okay. How many of you guys want a new defensive coordinator? Shano, you don't want a new coordinator?
I'm actually, I don't want to sound like negative Nancy, but I want a new head coach. What is he notorious for? 28-3, loss in the Super Bowl. And he's great for the players, buddy. But I want somebody that's going to get the job done. If Witt needed to be sat down in week 2, sit him down. I don't care if he's your buddy.
Right.
You know.
Right.
That
That's
sound
why I
like
said next
Gerard.
year. That's why I was talking about next year with Cliff. I mean, with DQ. I'm giving him one more year. I got to see use the team properly. You the head coach. Use your players. Coach
You
your
know,
team.
you know, my only regret doing this show is that I didn't do this with you guys last year, because I can only imagine the giddiness would have been every week, even through the playoff, the run. I can
I
only
was still talking
imagine what
stuff.
that.
Hey, Lake,
Yeah.
you didn't answer another question. Who wants a new GM?
Oh no,
Mm.
no.
That's kind of a question mark.
I don't. I think you got a guy that's learning how to be the lead GM, but I like the fact that he does know football, as far as the business acumen. I the fact that he stood up to Terry in that whole situation told me that they're running something totally different now. And that was enough for me to say, okay, I got to give this guy a chance to figure it all out, put it all together. He's never going to have to deal with a situation like that with Terry ever again, because you're never going to have a player that's that popular. And because Jaden, we all know they're going to give him the money. If they don't, then they will run him out of town for sure.
He's out of there.
I'll go with him.
But I think that they have everything
Our
they
quarterback.
need to be successful because we saw it last year. The problem is I need to see adjustments. That's where I am with this.
That's
I
what
want to
I'm
see
saying about DQ. Same thing.
adjustments.
That's
Like
what I'm saying.
no one should get fired if you really think about it.
Sure.
Witt is basically not calling the defense now.
Right, he's just
So
demoted. He got
he's
demoted.
demoted. So he's still part of the defensive staff and he brings
Yeah, I'm
value
cool
to
with
them
that.
in
I'm cool
other
with that.
ways.
Help him.
But Dan needs to be calling defense. I think if you're Cliff, somebody needs to sit Cliff down and say, Cliff, what you do, some of it works really well, but some of it doesn't. And we need you to work on the stuff that doesn't to get that up to par too. Like get your quarterback under center for a couple plays, run the football and stay with it. You know, this isn't college, and that's the fact. Teams will figure
Right.
your stuff out, and I think teams have figured out some of the stuff that he wants to do on the offensive side of the ball. So,
Yeah.
I'm not in the business of firing, but I am in the business of hiring. If somebody can help the situation, I'm going to do that. And I would be okay with that. If they feel like there's a coordinator out there that can help make this thing go through the ceiling, I'm not going to be opposed to it. But I think as far as the crowd is saying that fire Cliff, get rid of Cliff, I don't know if you're going to be able to get somebody out there better right
I'm
now.
not saying I'm not saying
Yeah.
fire. What I'm saying is if he does get another job, it's not like, okay, I'm gonna up his salary to keep him. It's like pat him on the
Oh
back and say
no,
thank
no,
you for
no,
your
no. I
service
get that. But I don't
and
think you
bring
have to
somebody
worry
else
about
in.
that,
He
Ellison,
ain't
because
going
I don't
nowhere.
think all right, yeah, I don't think he's going to I don't think he's going to get an offer from anybody. Not after
And no
this year.
college job.
Nah, I
All
don't.
the openings they got in college, you never know.
Well, it's not too many openings like people think. You know, it started off to look like that, but and now I can talk about my school. Although you guys know I wanted Franklin out of there, they did it too early because what they did was when they fired him, it scared the you know what out of all the other schools that had coaches that people
All
were going to
right.
go after. So they basically gave all these coaches all this money to stay where they are. So there's really only two or three big coaches out there. And I'm saying this not to be arrogant, but my school isn't a school that hires an up and comer. I mean, my
Yeah.
school is a brand. We need somebody that's going to get it done. The problem is there's hardly anyone out there. I think we either have two options here. You keep Terry Smith, who is a Penn Stater. Parents went to Penn State. He played at Penn State, was a captain under Paterno. And he's got those guys playing really good football right now. If you've noticed, Penn State over the past couple of weeks they've been playing with energy and fire, something they didn't do under James Franklin. So I think he should get the job. If they don't give it to him, it might be James Madison's coach. And that's
Chesney, yeah, he's not a bad.
Chestnut.
He's done a good job. He's done a good
He's
job.
done it, but is that like that's a major upgrade? And somebody said, well, look at what they did with Signetti at Indiana. No offense to Indiana, that's not Penn State. I know they number 2 in the country and great for them. Their football brand is not Penn State.
True.
So
But it still might be a good hire though, no matter what school he
oh
goes.
no,
Smart school. It still might be a good hire.
that's the hire I want if they don't go with Terry.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
that's the hire that I'm doing.
Yeah.
But somebody told me Lane Kiffin, he's not coming. He's not going north. There's no, y'all don't understand. It snows up there and it's cold. If you've been in Mississippi where it's warm, you're not going up to Penn State. No way. So,
Look,
guys,
Real quick, like
yeah.
I want to say about Adam, I would like to see him diversify a little bit and stop so much with the ex-49ers. I think that would help us.
Yeah.
I think that is kind of like those are kind of desperation moves because guys drop and they get injured. So you kind of go with someone that you're familiar with that can come in and just give you a body. But yeah, let's be honest, like most of the 49ers that he brought in outside of Debo, you know, I mean, is the kicker going to be here next year too? I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Gerard, what's up?
about AP, the jury is still out. I like AP a lot, okay? But I'm tired of him bringing in players who's hurt. Like this guy Drake. I mean, he be on the team.
He's playing tomorrow.
No. DQ said that he was still out right now on the press conference.
Man, that Joker been practicing.
I want him to play. My point, you making my point. When this kid play, I got to see something. Because if I don't see something this last 5-6 games or next year, what were we doing? And this is AP, Preston Smith. What are we doing? There was no young talent, no other practice squad person we could have brought in. I mean, it's lazy to me to just always go to the 49ers because, I know him. You have a staff. Trust me, I've been in management. I hired my boys too. But you still got to hire other people, other talent. And it's 32 teams.
I think you can almost see that Adam is loyal to veterans. That seems to be his thing. Like he's super loyal to veterans.
That's
my
why
thing
he's on the
is,
chopping.
if you're a veteran, right? If you're a veteran and you're not playing well, you should be sat. It's as simple as that. You should be sat.
So I think this offseason need to be about learning from mistakes, right?
Yeah.
Cliff didn't run the ball. Okay, let's get together. Let's do that. AP, how I go about negotiations and all of that. The reason I say I'm patient because I say tear down and start from your building blocks that your draft picks are players that you depended on, not a guy in his 8th year, not a guy in his 7th year, your draft picks. And so this is why I go back to what I said again about, are we patient enough? Are we patient enough to go get some founding pieces and we have an under 500 record to be successful for the next 4 years after that?
Hey, man,
go ahead, Brandon. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Question for everybody. Do we keep Lattimore?
No.
Hell no.
You should be cutting now. No.
But I mean, you could probably bring them back cheap, but no,
not for $1. Not for $1.
And see, to me, that goes back to learning from mistakes. After he got beat for the first 4 weeks, why was you making him your number one shutdown corner, not ruling no safety over?
I know.
Cut your losses. Cut your losses.
We cannot go into next season with the same team
too.
Okay, all you guys want to keep 6, 7, 8 players. We cannot go into next season with the same team.
Okay, well, so let's do this. We got about 5 minutes here, okay? And this is like 2 radio shows today. But let's so I'll throw the older names out, and you say yeah or nay. You would bring them back, okay?
All right.
Zach Ertz.
No.
Okay. Bobby Wagner.
Yes.
Everybody
modified
says yes.
Modified role.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Modified role.
Okay. Dedrick Wise.
Yes.
I gotta see my other options before I go back there first.
But I
mean,
he
don't gotta be the starter.
Yeah, right. I mean, depth. Okay.
Exactly.
Noah Brown.
No.
Come on, dog.
No.
I'm throwing them out there.
I'm just a messenger. That's Mr. Glass, dude.
Don't shoot the messenger. Okay. All right. So y'all said no. Man, now y'all really coming out on people now. He said Mr. Glass. Unbreakable. Okay. All right. So now when I'm looking for old players, I can't think of any.
You got some more?
Say Eckler.
No, I said Austin Eckler.
Yes, I'd say have him come back.
Not as a starter. And
but just on the roster. But on the roster.
On the roster.
Off return.
Yeah, on 50.
Off return.
Okay. All right. So what would you say, Shauna? What'd you say?
Off return. For Eckler.
I don't know, man. You're putting an older dude back there with concussion issues. It's one waiting to happen. I don't know.
Oh boy.
That's true.
Yeah. All right. So we got to go to the other side of the ball. I got one for y'all, and he's not so much old, but do you bring Deron Payne back?
No.
I do.
That boy's balling out, man. He's balling out this year.
He all right.
He's gonna want a lot of money. He's gonna want a lot of money.
I will see what I can get on the trade market.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Von Miller.
No.
I would, only because if your defensive line is together, you're not expecting him to come in. If he coming in cheap And on third and long, we know he can pass the rush to quarterback. So I
The
keep
role
him
that
in
he
a
was
limited
supposed to
role.
have this year was
You said
just
Von
what
Miller,
Brad
though. You
said.
said Von
Yeah.
Miller. No, that's DA. That's going to be. We need to bring in two new guys on the defensive end that's way younger. Von
Like
Miller needs to
Atlanta
go.
did.
We're
Like
gonna still
Atlanta
have
did.
DA. We're gonna still have Wise. You got to bring in two new defensive ends
Okay, what
with
about
speed.
Jonathan Jones?
Yeah.
Jonathan
Yes.
Only
Jones.
because we're so thin back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, he's on the same boat for me as I will see what other options I have before I go back there.
Okay, so do you guys because I didn't even mention Josh Johnson, but we already know the answer to that. So do you understand though that the Josh Johnsons, Zach Ertz, Bobby Wagner, and Von Miller is what makes this team
Oh,
appear to be old? I
Yeah, for
was
sure.
searching in my mind the lineups. It's not a lot of old
It's not
players
a
on
lot.
this
Yeah,
team.
But
No.
the
Trust Way
problem
too.
is we're depending
Preston
on those
Smith, you
old
forgot him.
players.
Come on now, I can go that line.
Yeah. I
We're
mean, but Preston
depending on
Smith
those
isn't.
old
He's
players,
not
though.
really one of the. Let's be honest. He's not part of that core old group. That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, but
He's
he's
not going to be here
playing.
next
He's
year.
out there. He's on the team. He
But
never should
every
have been
old guy
here.
you mentioned, we
Mhm.
were dependent on them to help us win. So
Big
I'm
time.
like, if we can bring these old players back and plug in piece roles, then
Yes.
good.
Yes.
Then
Oh
yes.
man,
Gerard
They could be the practice.
he want the little Giants next year. He
no,
wants
I
a
don't. It don't
young
got to be a little
football team.
Giants. It can be a veteran, but he don't got to be 33, 34 plus. That's all I'm trying to say. There's
Okay,
guys
so
out
out of
there.
those old players we just named, who do you bring back in the role that they're in right now?
Start.
I
Trust
bring
Way.
Bobby back.
I would
Trust
Bobby's
Way.
my
Absolutely.
starting
Oh
middle
yeah.
linebacker next year.
Trust Way.
Yeah, Tressway,
Oh,
my
of course.
punter,
Trust Way.
Bobby
Bobby can't be
Wagner.
my starter. Bobby can't be my starter.
What
No.
He
what
can
is
be my
he?
starter.
But what has he done for you to not think he should start?
See, I'm
I
gonna tell
know.
you. I'm glad you
Oh,
said
come
that.
on. Let's not do this.
I'm glad you said that. It's
Oh,
nothing
Lord.
against Bobby. He's playing very, very well. But we are the Washington Commanders. We have JD5 as our quarterback. We're trying to move towards the future. We need some younger guys, some younger talent far as building. We're not building anything if we're just going to keep 33-year-olds running, leading the defense,
I
calling all the
I
plays. How
I
are you
disagree.
guys going to learn? So
I
So, but
if we
Gerard,
keep
I think
Bobby
you kind of
this year,
contradict
you need to
yourself,
keep Bobby
man.
the next year too.
Yeah,
But
he
you,
does.
I think you
I
kind of
disagree.
contradict yourself. You said you're
Right.
not with tearing it down, but yet you want to get where you gonna get these young fellas at? Who you gonna put
Right.
there?
We already got Jordan McGee. We
But how
already
do we
got
know who Jordan
linebackers
McGee
on.
is though?
But they
We don't.
still learning.
Jordan's not better than Bobby at this
Right.
stage.
They still
But
learning.
listen, but look, but look,
No.
it's not about
No.
him being better. It's about us trying to move towards the future,
Yes.
getting younger. You're gonna lose some stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's about moving towards the
But
future,
you
getting
still see.
younger.
I
Are you
think
gonna
Bobby
keep
should
Bobby
still
for
be
another
out.
So you
five
don't think
years?
there's a place for both of them as
Right.
middle
Yeah.
I do.
I
linebackers?
said yes. I said Bobby not as the starter.
Right.
That's what I
I
didn't
said
say get rid of Bobby. I
I
said
Yeah, I
said
not
think
as the
Bobby's the starter,
starter.
and then Jordan is
Well,
It's
the
catching
I
reliever.
on.
said I think you can
that's
still.
what the last 2 years was, late. So
Mhm.
let me ask you this question then. When are you going to bring Jordan McGee in to be the starter when
Right.
Bobby's gone, or when Bobby can still be there
Right.
as him starting and still show him? Oh well, no, Bobby, you can go ahead and be the starter now, but Bobby's retired.
Let me say this.
That's no good then.
Let me just say this. Number one, I think we should bring Bobby back. He's not necessarily doing anything
Right,
wrong.
bring him back.
I think the
He's not.
scheme is hurting him. Where you
Absolutely.
can't ask him to do certain things
Absolutely.
like cover wide
Absolutely.
receivers and running backs.
Absolutely.
And number
Absolutely.
and,
That's
and
detrimental.
number and number two, I don't necessarily know if Jordan McGee is a middle linebacker. We don't know that.
Absolutely.
I think
He's
Jordan
Somebody
not
McGee is
else.
an
certain place.
outside linebacker. I don't think
I
they
think he's a
Absolutely.
have
will.
So
another
you
middle
bring in somebody
linebacker.
else. You
Right.
bring in somebody else younger.
Ali
I disagree.
probably
I
could
They
think
do
got
it.
him.
Wagner is your starter.
There you
Yeah,
I think
go.
we can't even get on the field now. So who knows? I think you bring
That's
back
coaching,
Bobby.
loyalty. That's what that
I
is.
I bring back Bobby as my
That's
starter.
Lake
I don't
because
Wait,
know.
he's
wait, wait, wait,
playing
wait, wait.
well.
But hold on. Bobby is the fourth leading tackler in the NFL.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because he's playing.
Exactly.
But it
Right.
Exactly.
doesn't matter. He's doing
Thank
there's
you.
only three more ahead of him. So out
That's
of all the
it.
linebackers in the league,
That are
Bobby's
starting
Thank you.
and that
doing
are
Stop
what
younger.
lying.
he's supposed to do. But
Yeah.
when he's asked to do things he can't do, that's not an indictment on his game. That's the coaching. And that's an indictment on them not getting some of these other young pups prepared to do some other things.
That's all I'm speaking about.
So what I'm saying is you come back next year with Bobby as your starting middle linebacker, and you move Jordan to the other side of Frankie. And those would be your two outside linebackers. But you make it a point for Kane now to get some reps.
To get in there. Yeah.
And you make it a point for Ali to get some reps. But you
That's
can't.
supposed to have been this year, right? That's supposed to have been this year.
I don't think it was supposed. You got to understand, even though Jordan's in his second year, his first year last year was a wash because he was injured.
Yeah.
So when he brought him back
That's
week
right.
9, he had him on special teams. He
Right.
wasn't ready to be out there. And you can see now the flashes, but the consistency's not there yet. And that's what I'm saying.
Most of the year.
I think the third year for Jordan is the big jump for him, where you can see him as an everyday player.
Right.
But I agree with Ellison. I don't think Jordan is your middle linebacker.
I don't think he's a middle linebacker.
First of all, your middle linebacker has to be one of the most intelligent guys on the field.
Yep.
I'm not saying Jordan's dumb. Don't. I'm not saying that.
Watch it.
But what I'm saying is, I don't know if Jordan at this point in his career has the capacity to call defenses and to know where everyone needs to be, because at times he doesn't even know where he's supposed to be at.
Yep. I saw a game. I think it was against.
But Bobby does know. Bobby knows.
He's a general, man. He's
one question. I have a question for you.
Go.
I have a question about Bobby.
Oh my God.
I hear everything. I'm sorry, Miss Sheila. Question about Bobby. Okay. If Bobby come back next year and he's leading the whole NFL in tackles next year, okay, next football season, do you still keep him the following year as your starter?
Long as he can play.
No, listen.
This is where you ask your GM to draft someone or bring somebody younger in, but you still can play him on the field. Just don't ask him to come
middle linebacker.
Yeah, I think we have three young we got 3 young linebackers not playing right now, right?
But you have 3 young linebackers that aren't middle linebackers.
Exactly.
Okay, we didn't draft somebody.
That's the problem.
We'll pick up somebody.
If they were to draft a middle linebacker, let's just say their first round draft pick was a middle linebacker, then I'm seeing the future being played for at that position. But as of right now, they don't even have a backup middle linebacker.
But that's negative for AP for me. Because you have Bobby
that's
for 2
fair.
years.
That's
goes
fair.
back to my point of tearing it down and starting all over.
Yeah, and that's fair. But that's not. But again, I want fans to understand. Bobby Wagner hasn't missed a down.
A game.
A down.
Right.
You know, in 2 years.
Yeah. Right.
If you're looking at the mold of a player that you want to build, not around. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, but you want as an example.
I got that. I understand all of that.
That's him. That's him.
But answer my question. If you do the same thing next year, do you bring him back as your starter?
Then do you like that, Mike Barrett? I'm sure you like that. That's malpractice then, because you haven't figured out, okay,
you haven't brought in that replacement.
You haven't bought somebody that he can groom properly too.
Right.
Because they tried it with Jordan. You can see
it's already malpractice.
No,
in my opinion. If you said so 1 more year later, Mason malpractice. 1 more year later.
No. Hear me out though. The plan all along was for Jordan to be the heir apparent at middle linebacker. And I think they figured out that Jordan's more dangerous as a player, being able to roam on the outside with that speed.
Okay.
But you just figured that out this year, because this is basically Jordan's rookie year. Because last year he was hurt.
Yeah.
It's not malpractice yet. Now, if you do it next year, that's malpractice.
No,
because that means 2 years in a row you've overlooked something you needed to build for.
Yeah. Malpractice was keeping Joe Witt on for 8-9 weeks. That's malpractice.
I can't say that's not true, because that's very fair. Sheila been saying this from week 1. Like, what are we doing? I think what we're finding out now.
I said it last year, but I didn't say it to you guys. I just
saw it. No, you can't. I remember you said it on the show last year too.
She did. She was hot. She was hot.
Yeah,
she was like, get him up out of here. I will say what I have found out this year more than anything else is the fan base, you guys, you can see now that you care. You've always cared, but now it's personal because you saw last year. Last year, I'm telling you, brought you back to your youth. You guys hit the fountain of youth last year watching this team. It made you feel like what you used to remember every year, playoff runs, disappointment when you lost in the playoffs. But what that did was it set this franchise up to have to be perfect this year. And they're not perfect. I mean, that's okay to say that.
Oh, yeah.
I hope that they have learned this year because of all this adversity, all these terrible things happening, from the holdout to the injuries to bad game calling. Okay.
Bad trades.
And bad trades, bad draft picks. Even though I think this year's draft class has a chance to go down as one of this franchise's best. I truly believe that. If you look at the way they've started in their careers, all of them, with the exception of Kane, have been on the field contributing. So for everyone that says that first draft class with Adam is what we thought it was, well, this class makes up for it. At least I think so. But next year is going to be the telltale. Like, did you just bomb the first one and got lucky the second one? The only reason your first class looks so great is because you got Jaden, but Stevie Wonder could have drafted that kid. So the point is, I think year 3 is when we can have these real good, hardcore, fair assessments of what's going on. And I'm telling them verbatim, they better know that you guys are ready. You ready to praise them for year 3, or you ready to really, as Brad say, tear it down? And not talking about just players. Could y'all look into next year and think that you want to fire coaches and GMs? Would y'all be?
You freezing up, Blake. You freezing up.
But yeah.
Okay. Is that good?
Yeah, you're good now.
Yeah, you're good.
So that was a sign saying we gotta wrap up, but no, just real quick, are you guys comfortable telling me that in year 3, if things are looking like it's looking now, y'all be cool getting rid of coaches, GMs, of the whole nine?
Oh yeah,
I'm sure we all will be.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'll be a Gerard on
DJ
on steroids.
Gerard will be the one to back the truck up. Here, put your stuff in. Let's go.
Hey, Lane, I tell you, if next year looks like this year, I'm ready to get rid of some front office people too, for sure. Absolutely, 100%. Absolutely.
I'm gonna say I'm not in that vote because injuries is why we look the way we look this year.
Okay,
very fair.
That's fair.
Brad, I gotta ask you, my guy. Year 3, if it looks like now, you cleaning house with everything?
I'm not saying everything. I think we break it. Like I said, I think we tear it all down right now. I mean, you know what I'm saying? From the cupboards, from the draft picks, from the foundation, but I'm not ready to get rid of everybody. I think the coordinators would definitely have to go first. I don't think you get rid of Adam. I don't think you get rid of Adam at all.
Or Coach Quinn.
You can't do nothing in 3 years. But I say I'm not ready to just. But this is why I always go back to that year 1 was fool's gold, man. We thought we were ready to be a Super Bowl contender when we didn't play no good quarterbacks last year, and we played good quarterbacks this year, and we got dissected like a science project. And we did. We really, really, really did. So I think this time I want us to get a defense. Exactly. Right.
That's a good one. That was a good one.
I want our defense, because now next year we're gonna have a last place schedule again, right? Because we pretty much bad this year. So we're gonna have a last place schedule again.
It'll be a 4th-place schedule for sure.
So it'll be bad again though. So let's put.
Would you take that with a grain of salt? So let's just say they do well next year and they get into the playoffs. Are we going to say they didn't play anybody, or it's the NFL?
That's what everybody else gonna say.
But it's the NFL.
This is why you learn from this year. But this is why you learn from this year. Let's put together some defenses that because we've seen good defenses this year make good quarterbacks look very confused.
And good defenses is winning games for their teams.
So put you a good
Washington
defense together, man.
From the jump.
Yes, put you a good
need to
defense.
Get some speed. 2 defensive ends with some speed and some power that can play the run and the pass.
And go get you some secondary guys, man. Go get you some secondaries.
I'll say this, and I'll leave it alone. This is a what have you done for me lately sports environment in all sports. And push come to shove, if it looks like it did, if next year looks like what it did this year, some heads got to go. I'll say it. None of y'all got to say it. I'll say that for sure.
Somebody got to go. I already said DQ got to go.
For Ellison to say that, because Ellison is always, cool, calm,
I'm
and
even
collected,
kill.
but he
I'm an
like,
even
nah,
kill
he
person.
Calculated.
ready to
He's
go.
very calculated.
Yeah,
Brandon, if Brandon says yes, then we in trouble.
I ain't saying everybody.
Are you ready, Brandon? Next year, if not working, they gotta go.
Come on, B.
I knew Brandon would. I knew he was gonna wait up on it.
I mean, if that's the case, Joe Woods should still be the defensive coordinator. It's only the second year. We need 3 years.
Nah.
I'm just saying, if you're taking that philosophy.
No, that's fair.
You're asking a
what
cook.
You are saying. I see.
Yeah,
that.
if you need 3 years, he should still be the defensive
You don't
coordinator.
need 3 years to know something's not working.
No, you don't.
That's all I'm trying to say.
It's not.
You don't.
That's all I'm saying.
Look, I believe what Brad said about like Dan should finish out the year as the defensive coordinator, right? And then assess at the end of the year and say, look, dude, is this happening or is it not happening? Because
it's not.
Think about it. No, I mean, they put a lot of money on that field and that's what you got. And look, man, what pissed me off about the whole AP thing, I don't like how fast he threw money at Lattimore, but then he held up Terry's contract. That really upset me.
That's
fair. Really upset me.
That's fair.
Because that fool has cost this team so many points in games this year. And it's uncalled for, man.
All those penalties.
It's uncalled for.
But is that scheme? Because I still say this to this very day. You can regress in your skills a little bit, but you don't regress in your skills where you look like you don't know how to play football. That's a scheme.
The second game he got here last year after the trade, I could tell he wasn't the same guy anymore.
Right.
No. Well, that's why New Orleans let him go. Let's just be upfront about that.
Of course.
No, it was his hamstring, you guys.
I think
it was his hamstring.
What Washington needs to do is operate.
The sarcasm just oozes out of them.
They need to operate off what they know and don't operate off hope. Right? We hoped Marshawn Lattimore would be that top corner. We hoped Noah Brown could stay healthy. We hope. Let's not operate off hope no more. Let's
they knew Noah Brown was injury prone, but
let me ask y'all this: does Mikey fall in the category of hope?
No, I think
I think that's more coaching.
I just think they let him go back where he played last.
It's true he regressed a bit.
Right, but I think he should stay where he was last year.
Outside.
He's not a slot anymore. He's not a slot. Now he's not a slot. He got some outside.
I agree, but this is the thing that bothers me. The last 3 games since you've had an injury to a corner where you could put Mikey back out there to kind of remind people what he did.
Go ahead.
They still haven't put him back out there.
I know. That's true.
DQ,
Jonathan Jones is a career slot corner in New England. Career slot corner.
And they got
him on the outside, and Mikey's still in the slot. Like,
I don't get it.
Don't try to outthink me on this, because I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I'm smart enough to know that Mikey's struggling in the slot. Put him on the outside and just show me something different, man, please.
Right.
Yeah. Those are the little things that we're talking about.
Now you're messing with his confidence now too. Now he's thinking too much when he's.
I don't think he has any confidence anymore.
Exactly.
I mean,
the head coach is supposed to take care of that, right? The head coach is supposed to take care of those type of things. That's the only point what I'm talking to y'all about.
Well,
I like him, but he just don't do it.
So 1 to 10, Gerard, and I'll get you, Sheila, here as well. 1 to 10, Gerard. 10 being hot seat, like I can't sit down because
for next year. For
next year.
Okay.
Where's Dan?
For me,
going into next year.
7
for me. He had a 7.
8.
Who's saying 8?
Alex. 8.
Wow.
8.
What?
Wow. He had a 7.
See, you got to switch me now. You got to switch me. Ellis is
and 8. You don't think the culture change that he's done is good enough to keep him around for a minute?
Mm-hmm.
I think
you said next year.
But I do agree with that. Like you're right there. But the coaching has been so piss poor in your replacements that you have for your backups that it came in. I can see where you lose games, but you still stay afloat. This team against Seattle, against I forgot who it was that blew them out. It was just like, are you
Detroit.
guys not teaching Detroit? Are y'all not teaching anything when these guys come through the door? Like everybody's like guys are wide open. Guys are dropping. It's like
That's
it
right.
looks
Missed
more coaching and
tackles.
scheme, missed tackles. It looks more coaching and scheme rather than you bringing guys off the street and they just don't know what to do.
I
That's
agree with
where I'm
that.
at with it.
I agree that it looks like, Darnell Savage. Like, where is Darnell Savage now? He's a good pro. He's been a very good pro for a long time.
I guess he
And
doesn't know how
all
to
of a
play anymore.
sudden, it's like, yeah, like does he need to retire? That's how some of these guys are looking like. And you can say, oh, they're on the street for a reason. No, it's a little bit more, contracts, money, veterans going with young guys. But some of these guys are coming here and they look god awful. And I
Look,
can't
hold on.
believe it's them. I
Like,
believe it's coaching.
let me help y'all. Let me help everybody out. Last year, I'm not even talking about this football season. I'm not talking about this year. We're talking about last year when we went to the NFC East Championship game. We all already said the main reason we went where we went was because of JD5. Our
Facts.
defense was weak last year. Let's be honest.
But at
Joe,
least Frankie and some guys were showing you
our
something. Like
defense
they were
was weak.
building.
Our defense was
We had
weak
Dante
last year.
Fowler. He wasn't playing bad. He played okay.
We didn't play
Yes, I just
one
said
Pro
our
Bowl
defense
quarterback
was
last
weak
year.
last year. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that we didn't have some bright spots. If we didn't do this, we didn't do that. I'm talking about
Right.
the overall picture. Our defense was weak last year.
And then we had
We,
Chin. He wasn't playing bad.
We didn't play
we
no
had
They wanted money.
JD5.
We lost to Dallas backup quarterback.
Yes,
We didn't play no good quarterbacks last year.
we
He had
had
Jalen Hurts, who won the
true.
Super
That's
Bowl
true.
last year. It was the
JD5.
MVP.
We had
Yeah, but he was
JD5.
beating us before he got hurt. Like they was walking the ball down the field before he got hurt.
We had
No,
JD5.
I was at that game. They were spanking
No, but I'm
us.
talking
was it.
about in Philadelphia. He beat them
Yeah.
Who?
on the Thursday night game.
Yeah,
Jalen Hurts.
okay. I'm saying, but
Yeah,
we
he
didn't
did.
play no good quarterbacks for us to think our defense was just we're gonna go places.
Right.
We didn't play no good
No,
quarterbacks
well, we
last year.
saw that.
Never.
It was
Never.
JD5. My point. It was not the coaching staff
Well, we know that
overall.
too.
That's all I'm trying to say. So
Well-
now we can fast forward to this year, or we can fast forward
So
to
did
next year.
Jaden Jaden make Cliff look better last
Of course.
Yeah.
He made everybody
Yes.
look better.
Yes.
So with no Jaden, now you seeing some flaws in Cliff's offense?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm still willing to give Cliff a chance because we ain't really.
give
You
him a
can't ask the
chance.
chef to cook.
Because
I
he
ain't
hasn't-
ready for him to
Five
go
still
yet.
made everything. It's
I
a
mean,
JD5
how
show.
many?
Like
many
last
plays
year,
you
Cliff
think,
was able.
Listen.
What I'm saying, last year Cliff was able to cook like homemade spaghetti. Ground the meat up, a turkey, whatever you use, and all that. Put some Parmesan there.
Some
This year,
sausage.
that joint is Chef Boyardee. It's in a can because he doesn't have all the ingredients. I
You know
mean,
that commercial
Mhm.
with Jay eat the soup.
But like, can I
I'm
ask
definitely
that?
gonna
But,
lose some
but
sponsors.
this
if
go
I try
back to
get 'em.
AP.
I was just about to say that. You beat me to it.
You're not going to listen. You'll be
But
all
this-
Chef
right.
Boyardee,
this
not
go-
interested. Go ahead,
But
Brad.
does this
Go
go
ahead, Brad.
back to AP though? Because we don't have enough talent around that. Does this go back to AP? We got one wide receiver, and like I said, when he went down, our whole offense was put,
It collapsed.
right? When one wide receiver, our whole offense kind of stuttered a little bit, right?
Facts.
So do we go back to AP to bring some talent in here, man?
But I
I'll
think
say
he
this.
tried, though. I do believe he tried this
Hey,
this
can I-
offseason.
hey,
I
I'll
do
say this
believe
real-
he did that. Go ahead. Mhm.
I'll say this real quick, and this is going to be small and minuscule to a lot of people out there. But for me, when he did not bring back Olamide Zaccheaus,
Thank
who bailed
you.
us, who
That was a
bailed us
Thank
out
you.
and
bad
bailed
move,
JD5 out a
Yes.
lot last year. A lot last
What he
year.
over there doing with the Bears now?
It was,
Okay.
But
it was a
Alameda
small.
wanted some money, though,
I
man.
get
Some
it.
of these
wanted
guys
that
need to
much.
get broke
I
off.
Hey,
Not that
I
much.
understand. But
They
I'm telling you,
could've
a
paid him.
small move like that to someone who was vital to your quarterback
Yeah.
playing last year. Get what you
But to
asked.
your
It's like
point,
the
Ellison,
it's like
I
the
think
kicker too, man. It's like
I
the
think-
kicker too. Like
oh,
with
yeah.
Zane Gonzalez and what's the other dudes? The other guy we got
They
rid of
head
that was
scratching.
no.
I think it's safe to say that they've gaffed with
Sorry,
some
Brad. I didn't
moves.
mean to interrupt you.
No, you good, but
No,
I think to Ella's point, this is a big offseason for AP. Now it's time to
Huge.
let's go back and realize where I messed up on and be humble enough to say I screwed up and let's get this right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a huge offseason.
this is why I love doing this with y'all, because you guys are saying it's not me. I love it because it just goes to show you, when people say like Washington's fan base is, I get it all the time. I have people tell me, how can you cover this team? That fan base is delusional. And I'm like, delusional on what? They've seen everything possible. They know when they've been lied to. They know when they've been bamboozled. They know
Mm-hmm.
when they see something good, like what you see in Jaden. This fan base is smart. And the problem is, though, at times, this fan base thinks with their heart and not their head. And I'm saying that. I will say, I think it's more the younger part of the fan base that does that. You guys are more realistic
Because they
about,
don't know.
well, they haven't seen winning. They
Right,
just
right. That's
haven't.
what I'm saying.
So,
They don't know.
and if you're one of the young viewers right now, we're not calling you out. We're just saying you haven't seen winning, and you haven't seen it sustained.
I don't even want to call myself smart this year. All the money I done spent and seen them get blew out this year, man.
Oh man.
But I get some
Oh
for free.
man.
Yep. So you haven't seen it consistent. And I think what happens is this fan base, the young ones, because they saw last year and they heard from us. We kind of set them up for failure because they heard from us, the old heads, so to speak, saying we know what a good football team looks like, and we saw one last year. And we come from the era where it was sustained. It was
Yeah.
sustained excellence year in,
Yeah.
year out. If they didn't
Yep.
make the playoffs, or if they lost like divisional game, like when they lost to the Bears, that was heartbreaking to people
Sure was.
because you weren't used to going out quick like
No.
that. It was Super Bowl or bust.
Yep.
So I think some of the young fans right now, they don't know what to think. They're thinking they're getting ready to go back to what it used to be like for them. And it's going to be this kind of year every year. I can tell you from my professional career, I've never seen this amount of injuries on a football team.
Right.
I haven't either.
Never. Me.
Right.
So that's why I say, before we throw Dan off the cliff and Cliff and even, Adam, you got to see how they rebound from this year.
I like how you
One
didn't
more
say
year.
wit.
You
One more
say so
year.
with?
Dan, he ain't answer my question. No, I'm just
Lake gave
kidding.
us Lake gave us the side eye and looked away.
So Lake, just go on and say push him down the
That
steps.
bothered me,
We
by the
good.
way. But
Just go on and say push him down the steps and we good.
hey, man, when you said push somebody down the steps, they rebounded. So maybe they should push this whole outfit down the steps,
Right,
and then they
exactly.
come back next year and do it up. But man, listen, we've been on for 2 hours today, and this
Wow.
is good.
It's a good
And
one.
I'm sure you guys noticed, like, I've tried to make it a point not to be so scripted and question oriented, for us to just
Yes.
free flow, just talk, because if there's anything about this show that I want people, if you're watching for the first time, you might be like, I ain't never seen nothing like this, and you won't. And the reason for that is this is a therapy session. This is a chance for us to
Beat me
just
to it.
Mike just put that in
get
there.
this,
Yeah.
get this
Mike just put it there.
bang. There you go. I
Right.
see it. That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. It is therapy for me as a media person, because when I'm around my colleagues, well, not all of them, but I was going to say most of them, try to ask reasonable questions, but there's some, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I
So
know
when I
them.
come on, yeah, you didn't hear from me, but I'm just saying it's
I
out there.
know.
But when I come on with y'all, we get every emotion possible. We get the positive side of stuff. We get the negative side of stuff. But I never leave this show feeling like I made somebody mad or you guys left the show like, I didn't get my point across. Like, no, everybody can talk and say what you got to say. I think we all are in agreement walking away from this show today, though, that year 3, they on the clock. They're on the clock.
10 o'clock.
They're on the clock. So you better make sure whoever you draft, we not waiting to see them be a project for 2-3 years. No more, none of that. You need
Free
to hit the
agent.
ground running.
Free
Literally.
agent.
Free agents.
Yeah.
I don't want to see I don't want to see 1 year deals anymore either. I
Nope.
don't want to see that. I need to know that the guy you signed, if they play well, they hear under the contract next year too. So it's
True.
okay. I don't
Yeah.
want to see, because when I'm watching Dante Fowler the other day, even I
Mm.
said to myself,
Right.
yeah, they missed that.
They missed that. Yeah.
And he
They
had a
missed
little
it.
attitude he had a little attitude as well.
He did.
They missed that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I understand you want to have nice guys, family guys. I'm all for that. As a family guy, as a nice guy, everyone in here, we all are those things. But I think it's safe to say you guys have another side to you too,
Mm.
where
Yeah.
you can turn up at times. And that's what I want to see with this football team. I don't want to see guys always saying the cliche thing. We just got to keep working. It'll get better. No, man. I need to go out there and
Yeah.
knock the hell
I,
out of
I
somebody
I
and
do
turn
have to
this thing
admit,
around, Go
Dan
ahead.
Quinn kind of say that a lot.
That's all.
This last couple of weeks, I'm tired of him. I turned him off yesterday. I was like, I
Dude, I
I
did.
do not want to hear that anymore. And
Oh,
and then when he first came, and I have to say this, when he first got here, he said, "I'm not going to do the same thing I did with the other teams I had. I'm going to be different."
he
Mm.
sure did. He
He
sure
said that
did.
over and over and over again. I don't know what's different right
Well,
now,
I can say
except
there was a
except for what
game.
we got.
Yeah, there was a game
Rid of the owner.
You go,
against
Big Killer.
yeah,
Hmm.
there was a game this year. And oh my God, what team was it where he had a lot of his former players? Marshawn had come out to the game as well. It was early in the season. I think it might have
It
been the
was the
Raiders
Raiders,
game.
man.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it might have been the Raiders game where it was some former players and they had just picked up George Fant, who was out there as well, in Seattle. The love, this is pre-game. This is when you come out on your own in your own headsets doing your stretching.
Right, right.
Coach Quinn always runs the stadium.
I
That's
know
their
because he
thing
shakes my hand. He shakes
all
my
the
hand
time. He
every
always
time
runs
he
the
come through.
stadium.
Uh-huh.
That's his pregame thing, pregame.
Yeah.
Players were gravitating to him on the field, hugging him, and you could see the love that they have for him. So that's always going to be who he is. One thing I do respect about
No,
Coach Quinn is
that's
he talks
good.
to
That's
you as
good.
a man. He
Right.
calls you by your first name. So
Yeah.
that's a good thing. But now I want to see the side where you're getting into some people here. One thing we did know about Joe Gibbs, don't be fooled. They said Brian
Hello.
Mitchell, B Mitch, that's my dude. He tells me all the time.
Uh-huh.
Coach Gibbs would be in the locker room tipping tables over. Literally, Joe Gibbs.
Mm-hmm.
And what did they do when they came out after halftime? They
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 were
looked
they'd
totally
different.
smack
different. They
that
beat them
ass.
games. They
Right.
sure did.
Adjustments were made.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's all we want to see. We just want to
Yeah.
see what are your adjustments for year 3, because year 2, even your practice schedule, even your practice training camp setup. Listen, man, I'm being honest. I don't want to see, because veterans are veterans, they get days off during training camp. It
Yeah.
showed during the season, did it
It
not?
did.
Okay.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying. If you have a guy that's holding out, get them signed before it gets into late August.
JP.
Get it done. That's the adjustments that we're all trying to see now.
Exactly.
You have to have learned from this. You have to have learned from Terry. You have to have learned from the way you manage Jaden. You have to. You can't be down 30 points and you running your franchise player with bad wheels anyway. You got a knee brace on one of the legs and you running him late in the
Exactly.
game. You have to learn to adjust. And like Sheila said, he did sit there in front of us and say, I'm not doing some of the things that I did before. I've learned from this.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to see next year. And I'm
Yeah.
telling them straight up, I like all of them. But this has been the last 2 years for me. I've been in media heaven as far as not having to deal with nonsense.
Yeah.
Well, X's and O's wise,
Sure.
coaches, but players. But some of the other stuff, yeah, whatever. Okay, so what I'm saying now though is that I'm telling these guys verbatim, this fan base is when I tell you they standing next to you on the cliff, they're ready to pull you back in, show you the love.
Gonna push you
But
over.
if year 3 is like this year, they pushing you. You're going into with the sharks down there. That's where everyone is. And Gerard, he been like this for like 8 weeks now.
Yes,
Like
he has.
just waiting and waiting and waiting and
We got
waiting.
another 8 months.
So I'm gonna
The
tell you what's
proof
gonna
in the
happen.
pudding.
If tomorrow night they come out and play ball with Denver and it looks better, everyone
People
will
be
feel
happy.
better. But if they come out against Denver and
It
it's
look like
primetime
Seattle.
television again,
It look like
and
Seattle.
the game is over at halftime,
Yeah.
ooh. Okay, final question. We having fun today. Whatever, man. I
I
gotta go
love it. I love
Cool.
it.
gotta go to a
Keep
Thanksgiving
going.
thing at 3 o'clock. But we ain't gonna be on here till 3. I'm just
Oh,
telling you. But I do have this question though. If they come out tomorrow night and get smoked, I mean, just get, as Brandon said, get that ass
We not
smacked.
claiming
Okay.
it. Okay, we
Do
gotta claim
you play Jaden next week?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
You can't replace actual game snaps.
Yes.
But if
So
you
yeah.
go out and you get smoked and it
Yeah.
looks like you offensively, you can't do anything and Marcus is running for his life.
Who's
Yeah.
running?
Do
Oh, but
you
that's Marcus. He run
No,
Marcus.
anyway.
Marcus.
but understand this. If Marcus is running for his life, that's a
That means
telltale
Jaden's
sign
probably
of
gonna
what's
be.
getting ready to
Yeah.
come. Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to see him selfishly. And the reason I want to see him is because I want to be more what Cincinnati did yesterday because they're in the same. I mean,
They had no reason
they
to play
strolled
They
Joe
their
are.
Burrow.
boy out,
That's right.
man.
They had no reason to play him,
No,
and they did.
and that's selfishly, and I just pray the kid don't get hurt because then BJ going to give me that. I told you he been consistent with it. He gonna be
Brad
consistent.
don't want to see Jaden on nothing but commercials. That's it.
That's right. Yeah.
And you still
I mean, look.
But Jaden don't
Go
agree with
ahead, go
that.
ahead.
No,
He doesn't
Jaden does
agree with
not. As a franchise quarterback, you shouldn't agree with that.
Yeah, he don't agree with
You should
Uh,
want to play.
Yeah.
Gerard, you've been quiet down there, brother. So do you, if they go out and get hammered tomorrow night, primetime television, and it's over at halftime, do you play Jaden again this year?
Well, I told y'all, I don't want them to play Jaden no more this year, but they are. So if that happens, if an offensive lineman get hurt this week, please do not play Jaden the following week. That's what I'm.
Well, the one thing is the offensive line has been intact pretty much all
Right.
year.
That's what
So
I'm
we
saying.
got to
Oh,
be
God.
realistic, though, right? It's quite possible that we might get blew out. Denver's defense is
Right. We're going
legit.
to.
So it's
They're
quite
No.
nasty.
possible, right?
They're
But that
nasty.
Bo
don't
Nix is
mean that
pretty
Bo
damn
Nix
good
gonna
too.
blow
And
us
then
out though.
the following week we play Minnesota. Brian Flores, and what is he known for? Bringing the
Blitzing.
heat, blitzing,
Blitzing.
right? Okay, right. Then we gonna play Jaden. We gonna play Carter and Brian Burns the week after that. Their defense is insane, right? Then after that, we play Philly's defense, and their defense is good. Now, what was your question again, Lake?
I'm just. I mean, but let's be honest here. We're talking about a franchise
Oh
quarterback,
man.
and a franchise quarterback. You gotta be there for everything, right? I mean, that's what
Yeah.
franchise
You
quarterbacks
do.
are.
You do.
You got to be there. Look at Patrick Mahomes. If there ever was a reason to say Patrick Mahomes got turf toe right now, shut him down, it's Kansas City because they're not going nowhere. But you will have to drag that guy off the field. He's
Lamar
going to
too.
tell his coach, "I'm not coming out." That's what Jaden needs to be doing,
Well, that's what he did.
and that's what he is. So the thing is, this could make Jaden a better person, a better quarterback. Going through this right
Or an
now.
injured one.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's football. And
Open the territory.
Look, I'm not that guy that say
my,
put him in bubble wrap. I'm not
but
that dude.
my stance is any injury that Jaden has had this year, those are all isolated incidents.
Right.
Those aren't reoccurring injuries. He hurt both knees. Those are two different injuries. And then the elbow, he was bracing himself to go down.
I'm not that guy that say to put him in bubble wrap. But if all of his weapons around him is back, then maybe so teams get they respect Terry on the outside, right?
Right.
They do respect Noah. All you gotta do is blow on him, and he gonna get hurt. But they do respect him
yeah.
still. That he can get
Y'all
open.
hard on Noah, man.
Oh, he's Dr.
Y'all
Cotton
really.
Soft to me. He
Oh
is.
my
I mean,
God! You said cotton soft, blow on him. Brandon said he's unbreakable. He missed the glass from the
yeah.
movie. I mean, man,
Come on now.
gosh.
Watch
But
him
but
come out. Watch him come out tomorrow and have
What?
like 3 touchdowns. Watch him he'll come out and
Uh-huh.
catch like
That'd be
and then pull
great.
it and then pull his
No,
cap
it's
on
and a
on the third
touchdown.
one.
I
No,
mean, he did get the Hail Mary last year. He did catch that Hail Mary
yeah,
last
that's
year.
he
it.
did.
I'm
That is
surprised he
it.
didn't
He
get hurt
did.
on that.
He was standing far back so that guy could tip it to him. That's right.
Hey,
Brad's
y'all do
killing
know
him right
Noah.
now.
Noah watches these things. He's a social
Oh
media.
shit,
He
we're done.
watches.
Oh,
I
well,
So
I
when
mean,
I
know
it's
walk in
love
the
him.
then. I
locker
mean,
He
room,
it's
I'm
like
just
him.
gonna be like, "Hey, man, that
look,
was
love
them,
you,
man.
look,
We
man.
know
So
him.
we love you, Noah.
Listen, let me tell you. My daughter watched the show, and she was like, "Man, Dad, your hair look great. It's facts. It look great. It is. It's facts. He's soft. He is. I'm
You know,
and soft
touchdowns.
ain't got
Think
nothing to do
about it.
with his heart. Soft
Except
ain't
for
got nothing to do with his
the
heart.
hell Noah. That's it.
His heart may be in there, but his
Yeah,
body just my man
yeah.
can't stay healthy.
Injury prone.
He
Are
injury
you
Injury
saying
prone.
BJ
Yeah,
is he the Derrick Rose of football?
He's the
No.
Anthony. He's the Anthony. He's the Anthony
Anthony
Davis.
Davis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
AD.
Anthony
the
Davis
AD
is
Anthony
football.
stayed
Okay,
Davis.
hurt.
got it.
And I
The
did
dude's
see a
a beast.
meme last year of Anthony Davis. They had taken Samuel L. Jackson's face off the Mr. Glass in the wheelchair in the purple outfit,
I
and
saw
they
Really?
had
that.
they had Anthony Davis head on that
Oh,
body, and I was like,
I
when
saw
people say that about you, that is bad.
Yeah.
it's
I
bad.
mean, there's another word people say. That people say soft.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
think Noah's soft at
No,
all.
I
No,
don't
he
think
just
Noah's soft at
he's
He's
all.
just
just
I don't
injury
either.
prone. He's
he's
just
injury
injury
prone.
prone. Is Jaden injury prone?
Yeah.
Um,
Lord.
that's questionable
Question
because he
That's a
mark.
played.
fair,
He stayed
Question
hurt in
mark.
college.
fair,
Question
fair
mark.
question.
He
It's
played
a
good in
Question
fair
mark.
college.
question, but I think it's Jalen's like play style that he has
Yeah.
to run. That's how he get hurt
Hmm.
on it.
Hey,
Noah
don't
just
Josh Allen run all the time?
yeah, but their body
Yeah.
sizes is different also
I
too,
mean, but
though,
Very,
look
right?
look
very,
at
very fair.
Jalen.
Very fair.
Look at
Very fair.
Jalen Hurts too, because like when he runs, I mean, he takes a lot of bad shots, man. I mean,
So
like I
this
was at that game
But
when he
he's a
got
big
clocked
boy.
by
Jalen
Frankie.
Hurts is a
He's a
big
big
boy,
kid.
though.
Yeah.
and this go back to
Yeah.
my Jaden got to know when to slide. Got to know when
Yeah.
to. You got to be
Yeah.
smart enough to know. Like a couple weeks ago, Mike B said the kid said, "I don't see no what goal line that I can't cross or whatever."
That's right.
He got to be smart enough to know. Like, let me take a slide here. Let me not go
Yeah.
into this hit here. It just this
Hmm.
is everybody's come to like Jesus' point. Like, all right, listen, y'all. Let's go back to the drawing board. Whatever we did wrong, let's just get it right. You know what I'm saying? So
But at the same time,
I can say this from talking to guys, different guys around the league I know, and they have told me that some quarterbacks, when they're exposed, some quarterbacks you lay up on a little bit. You don't really give them the business, so to speak. And then there's some guys they're gonna hurt. And the word I got from Jaden was everyone likes the kid,
Oh yeah.
so they're not trying to do kill shots, so to speak. And I know maybe some people might take this and run with it, but it's true. It's out there. That everyone likes him, so he doesn't necessarily get the shots that maybe somebody else would get. You know, um, that could be a saving grace for him too. But once that changes,
Yeah.
and you
And it
Yeah.
start
will.
winning, when you start winning games,
Oh,
It
they're going
will.
after him. They're
They're
going
gonna go
after
yeah,
him.
after him. Yeah.
Yep.
they're going to bring the heat to him, and he's going to have to learn how to get down.
Yeah.
He's going to have to. It's going to prolong his career, and then on top of that, being under center sometimes I think would
Oh
would help
God.
him out a
Yeah.
Yes.
lot. You
Yeah.
know,
Yes.
so that's
Yeah.
that's coaching, correct?
of
Yes.
course it is, and
Yes.
that's what we've been saying. No, listen, we for 2.5 hours. If you've been watching this, we have consistently said the same thing that some coaching needs to be
Yeah.
better. Um, I just think that when I watch their offense, even last year, let's call it like it is, even when they were putting up points and scoring, and remember they went several games without even punting. It
Yeah.
still didn't look like a conventional offense, and it's not. It's a different offense, but it had a little gadgety element to it. And I
Sure.
thought that once the gadgets started to get solved, now what? And that's where the
Yeah.
offense is right now. So tomorrow with Terry being back and maybe even Noah, um, there's a reason why I say you play Jaden going forward. And the reason for that is because you have to assess. That's what you're doing. You need to know, would Debo really have been like this with Terry, with Jaden, to the point where you're going to have to resign them? You need to know what is it we're going to be doing here. You can't hide from guys. You can't keep your best players off the field, because I need to know, is Jalen Lane a legit number 3 to replace to replace Noah? Is
Debo.
Yeah, or whatever. That's what I'm saying. But if Debo balls with Terry and Jaden, then I know it's worth trying to figure a way to bring him back. Okay.
Yeah.
I just need to know, what do I have here? Because we haven't seen it all year. They haven't had their starting unit on the field together one game this year.
Nope.
Really? Not one?
Nope.
Not
That's the
one
whole
game.
one.
It's
So always
always
somebody
been a
missed.
different
Yeah.
person in there.
Mhm.
So not one game. So if anything, those last 5 games with Jaden being back next week, I need to see it. And as Brad said, you definitely can get a fair assessment, because you're not going up against chopped liver. You're
No
going up
cupcake.
against teams that are going to be
Yeah.
fighting for their playoff seedings.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now you really can get a true fair assessment. Brad, I hate to say it, but if he gets hurt, that's just part of the game.
DQ getting fired.
You said DQ's
You
getting
think so?
fired. What if he gets hurt?
They're going to roast him. They're going to roast him.
Y'all would be, if Jaden got hurt, y'all putting that on Dan Quinn.
No.
No, that's on
That's
Jaden.
what I'm saying. It's
The
not.
media gonna
That's on
roast him.
Jaden.
You
The
can't
same
do that.
Depends
Man, how
on
do
how
you
he
tell-
get hurt, though.
but
If he
Gerard,
get
how
hurt
do
in the
you- how
pocket
do you-
and rolled up on, if
Yeah.
they
I
lose
know.
him by
I'm just-
30
I'm just-
and
I'm
he's
just
scrambling
clowning.
out,
I'm just
It's funny.
clowning.
It's funny when y'all say that. Y'all, sometimes I notice y'all say that when we do our show. A couple of
media.
y'all have said this over the weeks. The media. And I kind of take that as a compliment, because I am media. But I guess you guys don't see me as that, because I
oh,
try
you
to come
family,
off
bro.
as
I do.
well. I
I do.
appreciate that.
You
So I
coming
just
to
try
the
to be
family reunion, man.
unconventional.
Cut it out.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Because
there is
my
something.
brother-in-law says that. He says they say, and I'm like, who is they, man? I'm
Yeah.
there. And
But
he's
there,
like,
but
but
there
that's
are some.
different though, because you're not going to do that. So
Right.
I see what you're saying.
I know
But
you
there are
personally.
there are some in the media that are looking for angles and looking for
Mhm.
stories and
They're gonna
looking for
roast
something
Yeah.
just negative to put out there too, though.
That's
I
Yeah,
mean,
and
it's like
that's you're
yesterday.
You're right.
Yesterday, I text you guys on the thing. Some jackass put a story out that Art Monk passed away. I was
I
like,
Yeah, I
did.
saw
what is
that,
this
man.
nonsense?
Come on, yeah.
That
I
scared
That's
the
saw that.
crap out of me, man.
I saw that, and it came
Scared
up
the
in our
crap out of me.
it came up in our
searching.
media chat, and I was like, nah, man.
Jeez,
Like,
man. I was
nah.
like,
I went
I
all
was
See,
over
like,
the
what
that's
is
internet looking for that.
that's social
that drove me
media,
nuts,
though.
man.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
social
it's
media,
awful.
though. And it's somebody just looking for a reaction. They're
Clickbait.
looking for clicks.
exactly
So
what they
Yeah.
got. Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly
look,
what they
y'all. So I mean, anybody think they win the game? Anybody?
that we might
I think they're
win.
gonna win.
Brandon.
Brandon,
I'm
I
gonna
think
give
they're
him a
gonna win.
chance.
there's number
I think they'll
7
win.
right
Be
there. That's why
positive.
he's 7.
no.
Brandon,
I
you
got
think they're winning tomorrow?
possibly.
I mean, I don't know, man. It's probably because I'm out of the country, so I haven't.
Yeah,
I got to
we're
be up at
chalking up
like.
to that, man. Jet lag. We're chalking up to that, brother.
So Sheila, you
I
said
would love to see.
possibly.
I always want
I'm
them to
just gonna
win,
be.
man.
I'm always to be hopeful. So I'm not gonna
Well,
say
we
that
need
they're
you.
gonna
We need
lose.
you to be. We need you to be like Gerard.
Yeah, real.
He always say he's a realist.
Realist.
So, do you think they
gonna
win
be
the
a
game? Yes
realist.
or
I'm
no?
not gonna give up on them. No, I'm just not gonna give up
That's
on them.
being a realist is not giving up on them.
Well, no. To me, I'm who I am. I know who I am. So I'm going to will my team to win. Now that's the way I'm gonna do it. Okay, just
So I'm gonna
I'm
let
always an
Gerard.
optimist,
I'm gonna let
man.
Gerard take us out on this one, because
I know I
I'm
know he can
curious.
say no.
Hey, look, I'm
I
gonna
need
say
a
this.
score from you, Gerard. I just need the score
The
tomorrow.
score. Denver 31, Washington
9.
17.
What?
17.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, I don't know, how do you think they're gonna score more than 20 points or so on that defense?
31 to 17.
Oh, okay. Well,
All right, Brad,
beat
what you got? What you got, Brad?
Denver moving the rock, so I say Denver 38, Washington 13.
Shauna, what you got?
A lot to a little.
All right, Miss Sheila, I need a score.
I do. You do.
Yeah, we need a score.
All right. Now I'm gonna give you one.
Mm-hmm.
21-13.
Who?
Us.
Okay. All right. 21-13. All right. Ellison.
31-13 Denver.
All right. And
And
then
that's a
Brandon.
stretch. I really wanted to say 10, but I'll give it 30.
Okay, Brandon, what you got?
31-28 Washington.
31-28 Washington. All right, so
Yeah.
Brandon and Sheila got them. And
I'm an
I'm
optimist,
gonna
man.
do
I
it.
always
Everybody
win.
says, how can you go up against a team you cover? Because they don't pay me. I'm paid by other outlets. So
Yeah.
I'm going to say the score in this game is going to be Denver 29, Washington 24. And Denver wins it in the fourth quarter. So that's what I'm doing. And I know 24 sounds like a lot with Marcus as the quarterback, but I do think with
Yeah.
Terry coming back, things open up a little bit. So
Yeah.
I think
hopefully
so
it's
too.
a competitive game.
Pat
Vice versa.
Surtain comes back too. So
Yeah, I
Oh,
know, right?
shit.
he's back.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
So
He's looking
I
forward
hope
to
Noah
coming
has
back
a
and
good
playing
game.
for a
I hope
winner.
Noah has a
Exactly.
good game.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. Well, look, we're gonna wrap up. I appreciate y'all. Listen, I gotta go because
I'm
I got to
sorry.
go in that locker room tomorrow.
all
Hey
right,
man,
man.
what's up with your boys,
All right,
man?
see
It's
y'all.
almost 3 o'clock.
All right, y'all
Have a
take
good
care, man.
one.
Y'all
All
take
right,
care. Be safe out there.
all right.
Peace.